Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Yes, it's Superman. And today, as our brand new story unfolds, Clark Kent and Perry White are stunned by the strange behavior of Lois Lane. We'll join them in a moment, but right now, here's a word from your announcer.
You know, if you were the only fellow or girl in the world who was collecting those swell comic buttons from packages of Kellogg's Pep, well, it wouldn't be half as much fun. No, what makes it exciting is that so many of your friends are collecting them, too, so that you can compare notes on how you're getting along. And you can even trade duplicates with each other. And it really means something when you show up with all your comic buttons pinned on your jacket or your dress or cap for everybody to see how many you've collected. And you know, what makes it even more fun is that these white enamel buttons are so doggone smart-looking. Take Moon Mullins, for instance, with his derby hat sitting over one eye and his big black cigar. Or Superman himself in bright blue jersey and flying red cape. Yes, sir, you get a real thrill when you add any of these 18 different buttons to your collection. That is, whenever Mom opens a new package of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. Because that's the only way you can get these swell comic buttons. You don't send in any money, not even a box top. You just look for your exclusive prize in packages of P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now, the adventures of Superman.
Yesterday, editor Perry White startled Clark Kent by telling him that Lois Lane, star girl reporter, had resigned from the Daily Planet. He said Lois had been acting strangely for several days and had accused him of persecuting her. Just then, Lois entered White's office in a highly emotional state, accused the gray-haired editor of trying to drive her out of her mind, and while White and Kent stood frozen in horror, she pulled a pistol from her handbag and leveled it at the editor.
I'm going to put a bullet in that ugly, scheming brain of yours. Goodbye, Mr. White.
Then, as Lois's finger tightens on the trigger, Kent leaps forward.
Give me that gun, Lois.
No,
Give it to me, I said. There. Now, what's the matter with you?
I don't know. Oh.
Kent, what happened?
It's all right, Chief. She just fainted. Get some water, will you?
But she shot you.
Oh, don't be silly. How could she shoot me? Get some water.
Yeah, she did, I tell you. You jumped right in the path of the bullets. I saw you.
Will you?
Mr. White, Mr. Kent, what happened?
Come in here, Jim, and close the door, will you?
Okay. Gosh.
It's all right, everybody. Just a little joke. Nobody was hurt. Close the door, Jim. And lock it.
Okay. But what were those shots? What's the matter with Miss Lane?
She fainted, that's all. Get me that bottle of water on the chief's desk, will you?
Yeah, sure, but
But
what happened?
I can't understand it. She shot you, Kent.
Oh.
What? Lois shot Mr.
Don't
Kent?
talk nonsense, either of you. Do I look as if I'd been shot?
But you were. I saw
He
it.
looks all right to me.
Of course I am. Give me the water, Jim, please.
Here you are. Look, will someone please tell me what happened in here?
Lois went off her head for a minute, that's all.
That's all. She tried to shoot me.
Huh? I thought you said she tried to shoot Mr. Kent.
No. She tried to shoot me. Then Kent jumped
Please
in and...
be quiet, both of you. I'm trying to bring her to. Here, Lois. Lois, drink this.
Oh, I don't get it. You
Come
said...
on.
He said...
Quiet, please. Take it easy, Lois. That's it. Now, here. Drink a little water.
All right.
Gee whiz, I can't figure this out. Why would Miss Lane try to shoot you, Chief? I mean, Mr. White.
Because she's nutty as a fruitcake, that's why.
Holy smokes.
What'd you do with the gun, Kent?
I got it in my pocket. How do you feel, Lois?
I'm all right. Why am I lying here? What happened?
You got a little excited and fainted.
I did.
A little excited. It's a miracle we're both alive. Why, if Kent hadn't...
Mr. White says you tried
Jim.
to shoot...
Don't pay any attention to them, Lois. Here, come on, I'll help you into a chair.
Oh, what's this all about?
Take it easy.
Wait a minute. I seem to remember.
Well, don't try to think now. Just relax for a moment.
Something was driving me. I couldn't stop myself. It was as if my brain was on fire.
Your brain was on fire.
Yeah, you see, I told
Please, Chief.
Yes. The last few days I've had spells like that. Ever since the cat.
The what?
you. She said cat. Now, what's a cat got to do with you trying to murder me?
I tried to murder you.
I don't think we should talk about it now, Lois. You need a rest. You've evidently been under a terrific strain.
No, wait a minute. I've got to talk about it, Clark. I can't keep it to myself anymore. I'll go crazy if I do.
Oh, gosh, what is it, Miss
You'd
Lane?
better make it good, Lois. I don't like being shot at.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Oh, I wish I were dead.
No, Lois, it's all right. You realize she's sick, Chief.
Oh, don't cry, Miss Lane. Please
No,
don't.
you're right, Kent. Now, there, Lois. Now, it's all right. I know you didn't mean to do it. Now, stop crying and tell us about it.
I will. I must. Only you won't believe me. You'll say I'm out of my mind.
Oh, no, we won't, will we, Mr. Kent?
Of course not. Now, pull yourself together, Lois. You know you can count on us.
Oh, yes, of course. Now, tell us what's bothering you. We'll do everything we can to help you.
All right, I'll tell you. On Christmas Day, somebody sent me a cat for a present. A beautiful fawn-colored Siamese with blue eyes.
Well, who sent it to you?
I don't know, Jim. There was a big red bow tied around his neck, and there was a card attached to it. And the card said, "Merry Christmas from an admiring reader."
Oh, one of your fans.
I suppose so. Well, anyway, my sister Diana and a few other people dropped in during the afternoon, and we had lots of fun with the cat. And when I went to sleep that night, it curled up on the foot of my bed. And then, sometime in the middle of the night, it happened.
What happened?
A voice woke me up. It was calling me.
A voice?
Whose voice?
I didn't know at first. I sat up in bed, listening. At first it was all quiet, and then suddenly I heard this strange voice calling me.
Wake up, Miss Lane. Wake up. Wake up, Miss Lane.
I thought someone had broken into my apartment. I was frightened, but I managed to say, Who is it?
It is I.
Who are you? What do you want?
I want to warn you.
Warn me? What do you mean?
You're in great danger, Miss Lane.
Danger?
Yes.
You think I've told myself that, Clark?
Whoa.
I've repeated it over and over, but this cat keeps waking me up in the middle of the night, and it does talk.
Oh, that I gotta see.
Well, it
I mean,
does.
here.
Ah, poppycock, a talking cat. There's no such thing. You're tired, Lois, nervous, and your imagination is working overtime. Now, the thing to do
Is to see the cat.
Nonsense. Get rid of the cat. Send it to the SPCA or something.
I can't do that, Chief.
Why not?
Because don't you see that I must know for sure whether this cat really talks or not. If it does, then I'll know that I'm all right. But if it doesn't, well, then I'll know that I'm going out of my mind.
Lois is right, Chief. Come on.
Where?
To Lois's apartment to see the cat.
What for? You don't think it actually talks, do you?
That's what we're going to find out. I can't see anything unusual about this cat, Lois.
No, except that it talks.
Ah, poppycock. We've been here half an hour. If it can talk, why doesn't it say something?
Well, let's hear you talk, Kitty. Come on, say something. What's cooking with you, huh?
Don't be a bigger chump than you are normally, Olson. Now, look, Lois, you take a rest. Forget about the office and this cat business. We'll take it with us and drop it at the SPCA.
I think the Chief is right, Lois.
No, wait, Clark. You don't think there's anything the matter with me, do you?
Oh, of course not. You're just overtired.
Yeah, that's what I think, too, Miss Lane.
Sure.
Well, I'm glad you all believe I'm sane. Oh, maybe I did just imagine the cat spoke to me. You all run along, then. I'll take a sedative and get some sleep. No, leave the cat, Jim.
Well, I think we ought to take it along, Lois.
No, I'm sure I'll be all right now, Clark. And I really do want the cat. Go ahead now. I'll be all right. Really, I will.
Well, I don't know.
Don't argue with her, Kent. Let her see for herself she was mistaken. Now, come on. Come along, Olson.
Okay. So long, Miss Lane.
Goodbye, Jim. Bye, Clark.
Bye, Lois.
Chief.
Bye, Lois. Get a good rest now.
Yes, I will, and thanks loads. Come on, Kitty. Come on. We're going to take a nap. And don't you dare talk to me now.
Relieved by her friend's assurance, Lois takes a sedative, pulls down the shades, and climbs into bed. The fawn-colored cat springs to the foot of the bed and regards her with curious blue eyes.
Good night, Kitty.
And don't go to sleep yet, Miss Lane.
No. Don't.
I said don't go to sleep yet, Miss Lane. Perry White, your enemy, was just here. He means great harm to you. He's driving you out of your mind. Listen to me, Miss Lane.
All Lois needs is a good rest. I think I'll send her to Florida. Good idea, Kent?
Swell idea, Chief. A couple of weeks of sunshine ought to get the kinks out of her nerves.
Well, come to think of it, Chief. I mean, Mr. White, my nerves have been feeling pretty kinky lately.
Oh, yeah? Well, get yourself a sun lamp, Olson.
Oh.
See you both later.
Wait, Kent. Come into my office. I got something for you. You too, Olson.
Something for me? What?
Now, don't look so eager. It isn't anything to eat.
Oh, gosh, what is it?
Keep your shirt on, Jim.
And Mr. Grayson, the publisher of the Planet, sent wristwatches to the members of the staff for Christmas.
What? You mean he sent me one?
Yes. I guess he suffers from the same delusion that you do, that you're a reporter.
Oh, gosh.
They're here in my desk. Lois and I already have ours, but you two are away since Christmas, and, here. Here they are.
Oh, say, that was very nice of Mr. Grayson.
Yeah, it sure was. What jeepers, look at it, Mr. Kent. It's a honey.
Uh-huh.
Look at the swell gold van.
Come in.
And look at my initials on the back.
Quiet, Olson. Now, what is it, Miss Backrack?
Miss Lane called a few minutes ago, Mr. White.
Lois?
Well, what did she want?
Well, she sounded terribly disturbed, almost hysterical.
Uh-oh.
Gosh, I wonder if...
Will you be quiet, Olson? What do you mean hysterical, Miss Backrack? What did she say?
Well, she said to tell you and Mr. Kent that the cat talked again.
What?
I knew it.
If you ask me, Mr. White, I think Miss Lane is having a nervous breakdown. She's been acting awfully
Never mind
strange.
that. Now, what else did she say?
Well, she said she had to get away, and she was leaving at once to stay with some friends. She was so excited, I couldn't get the name very clearly, but I think she said the Markhams.
Lucille and Harry Markham. They live in Forest Heights. Did she say anything else, Miss Backrack?
Yes, sir. She said for you to please come and get the cat, Mr. Kent.
What?
She was leaving word with the doorman to let you into her apartment.
Oh, anything else?
No, sir.
Look, Miss Backrack. Now, don't mention this to anyone, you understand? It might embarrass Miss Lane later.
Oh, no. I won't mention it to a soul. Miss Lane is such a lovely girl. I only
All
hope
right,
that...
all right. Thank you, Miss Backrack. Go back to your desk.
Yes, sir.
Confound it, Kent. I thought we'd talk Lois out of that cat nonsense.
Either she's in pretty bad shape
Or the cat did talk, eh? Now, look, Kent, don't you start that puppy cat.
Well, I wasn't thinking of the cat. I was thinking of something else.
What, Mr. Kent?
Just a little idea that might be worth investigating. Come on, Jim.
Come on, Jim. Where? What idea?
I want to have a look at Lois's apartment again, and something else. Also, we've got to pick up the cat. Let's go, Jim. If anything comes up while we're gone, Chief, we'll be at Lois's apartment.
I don't get it, Mr. Kent. Well, that's just an ordinary leather collar the cat's wearing. Why do you keep examining it?
Yeah, I guess you're right, Jim. Okay, you can get down, Kitty. Go along.
Huh? What do you mean I'm right?
It's just an ordinary leather collar.
Well, of course it is. What did you think it was?
Well, whatever I thought, I was wrong. Come on, let's have another look at Lois's bedroom.
Well, what for? You've already done everything to it except rip up the mattress.
Well, I just want to be sure.
Sure of what?
That the cat didn't talk.
What? Holy mackerel, Mr. Kent. You don't mean to say you think this cat can talk, do you?
Oh, of course not, Jim. I just meant that the cat voice Lois says she heard.
But she didn't hear any voice. She only thought she did.
Well, now, maybe she did hear it.
Huh? But you just said that
I said I don't believe she heard the cat. But she might have heard a voice she believed came from the cat.
Well, how could that be?
Well, now, look, suppose there were a speaking device hidden somewhere in this room, and somebody at the other end of it sent his or her voice into the room. Now, Lois knew there was nobody in the apartment except herself and the cat, so when she heard the strange voice...
She thought it was the cat.
Right.
Well, that's why you were examining the cat's collar.
Mm-hmm.
You thought it might be some kind of a receiver, huh?
Yes, but I was wrong there. And I'm wrong about there being a hidden speaking device in this room, too.
Well, how do you know? It might be in the wall someplace.
No, it isn't.
How do you know it isn't? You can't see through a wall.
Yes, I can. I went over the walls and floor very carefully when we were here this morning.
Oh, well, maybe there's something in one of the closets. Or in the dresser, or in that cabinet.
No, there isn't. Take my word for it, Jim. And since this apartment is on the 16th floor and there's no fire escape, nobody could have projected the voice through a window.
Gosh, who would do a dirty trick like that anyhow? Trying to drive poor Miss Lane nuts and telling her Mr. White was her enemy.
Well, I don't know who would do it or why, but I'm certainly glad she went to visit the Markhams. Lucille and Harry are both jolly people and very fond of Lois. A week or so with them, and then maybe a trip to Florida, and she ought to be all right again. Okay, come on, Jim. Get the cat, and we'll be going.
Oh, going where?
Oh, we have to drop the cat at the ASPCA.
That's what I thought you were going to say. You mean we're gonna have it put away?
Oh, not necessarily. It's a very pretty cat, and someone may adopt it. We can't leave it here alone with no one to feed and take care of it.
I'll feed and take care of it.
You?
Sure, I like cats, and so does my mother.
Oh, wait
and
a
she's
minute.
been wanting a cat, too, so why can't I adopt it?
Aren't you afraid it might talk to you?
Oh, are you kidding? Oh, please, Mr. Kent, I'll be good to it. And you could see when I was holding it that it liked me.
Okay. Take it home. There's a traveling box for it in the living room. Suppose that's the one it came in.
Oh, I'll get it. Thanks, Mr. Kent.
All right.
Come on, kitty. Come on. Isn't that the phone?
Yes, I'll get it. It's in here. Hello?
Hello, is that you, Mr. Kent?
Yes?
This is Miss Backrack at the office.
Oh, yes, Miss Backrack.
A call just came in for Mr. White.
Oh?
When I said he stepped out for a little while, the party asked for you.
Me?
Yeah, I heard you say you and Jim were going to Miss Lane's apartment, so when this party said it was terribly important,
What party?
Mrs. Markham, she said to tell you Lucille Markham.
Oh, yes. Miss Lane is visiting her. Well, what was the message?
She just said to have you call her as soon as possible. She said it was terribly important about Miss Lane. She seemed very upset, Mr. Kent.
That's funny. Did she leave her number?
Yes, just a minute. Here it is. Forest Heights, 211.
Now, wait till I write that down. Forest Heights, 211?
That's right.
Thanks.
Oh, gee, Mr. Kent, I hope nothing's gone wrong with Miss Lane.
Well, I'll find out. Thanks, Miss Backrack. Jim. Jim, come here, will you?
Yeah? What is it, Mr.
I'm
Kent?
afraid something happened to Lois, Jim.
Gee whiz, what could...
Wait a minute.
Number clear.
I want Forest Heights 211, operator.
211.
That's right, 211. And please try to hurry it, will you? It's terribly important.
Tensely, Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen wait for the call to suburban Forest Heights to be completed. We'll return in a moment for the startling climax of today's episode. But first, here again is your announcer.
Don't forget, gang, if you have duplicate comic buttons to trade, you know, the swell buttons everybody's collecting from packages of Kellogg's Pep, be sure to let your pals know about it. Tell them which duplicates you have and which comic strip characters you need. Then you can swap and be one button closer to having all 18 in the series. You won't want to miss out on a single one because they're all true to life and really brilliant with color. Why, the pictures of your favorite funny paper characters look so real they could speak. Like Smitty, for instance, and Herbie, and Superman himself. And you know, it's so easy to get these exciting comic buttons. You don't send in a single penny, not even a box top. And you can't buy them anywhere. But inside every package of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep, there's an exclusive prize. Get busy and complete your collection of these nifty comic buttons. Ask Mom to get you some P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
In Lois Lane's apartment, Clark Kent has just placed a call for Lucille Markham, Lois's friend. Jimmy Olsen stands by anxiously, the fawn-colored Siamese cat in his arms.
Hello?
Miss Markham, Lucille, this is Clark Kent.
Oh, Clark, I'm so glad you called.
Yes.
Listen, do you know where Lois is?
Lois, what? Well, she's at your house, isn't she?
That's just it. She isn't. And I expected her hours ago.
What's the matter, Mr.
Funny.
Kent?
Just a minute, Jim. That's strange, Lucille. She called the office before noon and said she was going to your place then.
Yes, that's what she told me. She called about 11 o'clock and asked if she could stay with us for a few days.
Uh-huh.
She sounded terribly upset, Clark.
Yes, I know.
And, of course, I told her we'd be delighted to have her. She said she was all packed and would leave at once by taxi.
A taxi?
Yes. And I expected her in time for lunch. You know, we're about 45 minutes drive from Lois' apartment.
Yeah.
But, my goodness, here it is almost 3 o'clock and she isn't here. Oh, I'm worried, Clark. She really sounded quite ill.
Oh, she is ill,
Didn't Miss
Lucille.
Lane get there?
No, she didn't, Jim.
Gosh, what are you...
Listen, Lucille, I'll look into it at once. You stay right there, and if you hear from Lois, call me at the Daily Planet, will you? And if I'm not there, leave a message and I'll call you back.
All right. And please call me as soon as you find out anything, Clark.
Sure.
I'm really terribly worried.
I will, Lucille, don't worry. So long now.
Golly, Mr. Kent,
Just a minute, Jim. Lois disappeared. And I've got to think. This is strange. Very. Now, look, Inspector, this has gone beyond the point where it's a joke. We know Miss Lane entered a taxi in front of her apartment building at 11:30 this morning and told the driver to take her to Forest Heights where the Markhams live. The doorman heard her. Now it's up to you to locate the driver of that taxi.
We're doing everything we can, Kent. But the driver seems to have disappeared, too.
Well, it shouldn't require much effort to find a bonded registered taxi driver in a bright yellow cab.
How do you know he was a bonded registered driver?
Because-
he might have been a mug planted in that cab to pick up Miss Lane.
Gosh, I never thought of that.
I did, but it doesn't hold water.
Why not?
Because the cab was one of the yellow taxi company fleet. The doorman remembers that. Now, if a yellow cab had been stolen, there would have been a report on it by this time. It's been 6 hours since Lois disappeared.
Yeah, how about that, Inspector?
Well, I admit I don't know the answer. But when we pick up the driver...
And how long is that going to take?
Confound it, Kent, will you quit riding me? I'm getting sick. Come in.
Get in there. Go on.
Okay, cop, okay. You don't have to push me.
Who's this, Healy?
He's the guy we're looking for, Inspector. The hacky picked up Miss Lane.
He is.
Gosh.
Well, now we're getting someplace. Where'd you find him?
About 4 miles out on the River Parkway. He was part of the curve, fast asleep. Or else he was making out like he was.
I was asleep.
Yeah, says you.
Well, never mind that. Where did you take Miss Lane, driver?
If you're talking about the dame I picked up at the Frontenac Apartments this morning, kind of a good-looking dame.
Yes, that's Miss Lane. Now, where did you take her?
I didn't take her no place. Like I was telling this Dick, something screwy happened.
Are you going to tell that cockeyed story again?
It's the truth, so help me.
Wait till you hear this, Inspector.
I intend to. What's your name, driver?
Joe Ross. Here's my hack license.
Mm-hmm. This license seems to be okay. All right, driver, start talking. But remember, I want the truth.
Okay, here it is. I picked this dame up in front of the Frontenac Apartments about 11:30 this morning. She says she wants to go to some number on Maple Street in Forest Heights. I forget what the number was.
1219?
Yeah, that's it.
Uh-huh.
I cut over to Ridge Road and picked up the Parkway. This dame kept bothering me all the time to go faster. I never see such a nervous dame, and I see plenty driving a hack. But all of a sudden, about the time we hit the Parkway, I don't hear no more out of her. I look back, and she's fast asleep.
Asleep, huh?
Yeah, that's what he said.
It's the truth.
Well, Miss Lane might very well have fallen asleep from nervous exhaustion. Go on, Joe.
Okay. Well, I drive a couple of miles on the Parkway, and I'm just passing a golf course when I hear a horn. And I see a big black funeral hearse coming up in a rear vision mirror. I pull over a little to let it go by, and...
Here's where it gets good, Inspector.
Let him talk, Healy.
Yeah. So like I say, I start to pull over, and here comes this funeral hearse up from behind, and it's really traveling.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets up alongside my cab, it jams on its brakes and starts crowding me over. I yell and give him my horn, but it keeps crowding me. I got to get right up on the curb or stop, or I'm going to get folded up like an accordion.
Well, what was the big idea? Why'd he crowd you?
Well, you're here, buddy. When I start remembering this part, I get the shakes.
Baloney.
Hey, make this guy lay off me, will you?
Stop it, Healy. Go on.
Yeah. Well, I stop up against the curb, and a tall, skinny guy dressed all in black with a long tail coat and a high silk hat gets out of the front seat of the hearse and comes over to the cab. Right away, I start to feel funny. I get chills running up and down my back. He's a tall guy, dressed all in black, like I said, but his face is kind of yellow-white, like one of them guys gets their last ride in his hearse. His eyes, I never seen eyes like his before. Big and black and dead with blue shadows under them. I kept looking at his eyes, even when he started talking and waving his hands. Long, skinny hands like a skeleton's.
Oh, jeepers.
Go ahead.
Well, this guy comes over to the cab, and when he talks, his voice gives me the creeps for sure. Sounds like it's coming out of a grave.
I beg your pardon, but I seem to be lost. I wonder if you could direct me to the Pleasant Valley Cemetery.
The what?
The Pleasant Valley Cemetery. Surely you know what a cemetery is?
Yeah, sure, but I never heard of that one.
How strange.
Look, mister, I gotta be going. If you'll get your hearse out of the way,
I must find the cemetery before dark. I simply must. I wonder if the young lady in the back seat can help me.
No, she can't help you. Look, mister,
Is she dead?
Dead? No, she's just sleeping.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course she's sleeping.
She may be dead. Why don't you look and see?
I remember turning around to look at the dame when he said that, and that's all I remember until this Dick here woke me up. The dame was gone, and so was the guy in his hearse.
Sleeping lizards.
Ever hear a yarn like that before, Inspector?
No, and I don't believe it.
It's the truth. Sir, help me, it's the truth.
Come on. Give it to us straight.
I think he is giving it to us straight, Healy.
Thanks, mister.
Now, look here, Kent.
Just a moment, Inspector. What I want to know at the moment is far more important. Where is this Pleasant Valley Cemetery?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, you should have some sort of a directory of places like that.
I have. Right here on the shelf.
Oh, good.
Here we are. Now, let's see. Cemeteries. Oh, here we are. KLMNOP. Clam Valley, Pineville, Pine Manor. Just as I thought.
Where is it, Inspector?
There is no Pleasant Valley Cemetery.
What?
And what's more, there never was one.
Shifting uneasily, the nervous, sweating taxicab driver gulps and turns pale. Is he lying? Well, we'll be back in a moment for a startling surprise. But first, here again is your announcer.
Say, gang, do you know what your mother would like to give you for breakfast these wintry days? A heaping bowl of sunshine. Yes, sir, she knows the important effect of sunshine in helping you build strong bones and teeth. So one of the next best things is Kellogg's Pep, because you get the vitamin D effect of sunshine in this super delicious whole wheat flake cereal. Why, Pep has it all over sun-ripened whole wheat in vitamin D. Of course, you like Pep for breakfast because it's a doggone golden and crisp and good tasting. And because that's how you get those exciting comic buttons all the gang's collecting these days. Aren't they swell fun? You really feel like strutting around when you wear your comic buttons pinned on your jacket or your dress or cap. They're colored bright as anything, so the pictures of your favorite funny paper characters stand out against the white enamel background. Like Moon Mullins, for instance, with his big black cigar, or Superman himself, red cape of flying in the wind. And whenever you get a duplicate, it's even more fun to trade with your pals. But remember, there's only one way you can get these comic buttons. You don't send in any money, not even a box stop, and you can't buy them anywhere. They come only as prizes in packages of Kellogg's Pep. So get busy, gang. Ask Mom to get you some P-E-P, Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
2 hours have passed since Joe Ross, the taxicab driver, recounted his weird and almost unbelievable story at police headquarters. Jimmy Olsen is now back at home, having left Kent at headquarters. As we join him, he is telling his mother about the strange disappearance of Lois Lane.
And according to the cab driver, the first time he knew the hearse and Miss Lane were gone was when the detective woke him up.
Why, I don't believe a word of it. Do you, Jimmy?
Well, I don't know, Mom. First, Mr. Kent said he did. Then when Inspector Henderson couldn't find the name of the cemetery in a directory he had, well, even Mr. Kent's kind of on the fence.
And in the meantime, nobody knows where poor Miss Lane is.
No.
Oh, that's a pity. She's such a nice, sweet girl. Why would anyone want to do her harm?
Well, there are a lot of punks in this world, Mom. A lot of them.
Yes, I suppose so. Well, I think I'll go up to bed, Jimmy. I'm a little tired.
Okay, I'll sit up a little longer. Mr. Kent may call. He said he would if anything broke.
Good night, Jimmy. Don't forget to let the cat out before you come up.
No, I won't. Oh, where is it?
In the kitchen, I think. Good night, Jimmy.
Good night, Mom. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Come on, kitty. Come on, fella, come on. Come on, up in my lap. Yeah, that's the boy. You don't know it, but you're the cause of all this trouble. Yes, you are. You started everything. If someone hadn't sent you to Miss Lane, everything would have been all right. You like to have your neck rubbed, don't you? Feels good, doesn't it? You know, it's too bad you can't talk. If you could, maybe you'd be able to tell us a few things.
You're in danger, Jim.
Who said that?
Beware of Perry White.
Who's talking?
He'll do to you what he did to Lois Lane.
Leaping lizards.
Come in, Olsen. I want to see you.
No, sir.
What?
I can't right now. Do you know where...
What do you mean you can't?
I'm awful busy. Do you know where Mr. Kent is?
He's out looking for Lois.
Oh, where? I gotta get a hold of him.
Well, how do I know where? Will you come in here and close that door? I don't like long-distance conversation.
I can't hear what you say.
And I don't like to shout.
Yes, sir. I mean, no, sir. Haven't you got any idea where Mr. Kent is? I've got to see him right away.
I told you he's out looking for Lois. And unless you come in and close that door,
Thanks.
Olsen, come over.
Oh, no, not me. Later, Mr. White. I'm awful busy
I
now.
said come here.
But I'm awful busy. I'm terribly busy.
Will you come in here, or do I have to drag you in by the scruff of the neck like a cat?
Oh, jeepers. He said a cat.
Well, I'm waiting.
Oh, I guess he's got me. Okay, Mr. White. I'm coming.
Come on. Move.
Yes, sir.
He's busy, doesn't he? Of all the insolent young freaks. Well, what are you standing there for? Go into my office.
Yes, sir. But don't touch me.
I ought to cut you limb from limb. I ought to boil you in oil.
No, don't.
So what in thunderation's the matter with you?
Me?
Yes, you. And stop walking backwards. Stand still.
Yes, sir. I... Okay. You've got me.
I what?
You've got me. But you better not do anything to me. I left a note for Mr. Kent, telling him what the cat said, and if anything happens to me, he'll know you did it.
I did what?
Whatever you're figuring to do to me.
I'm going to cut you up in little pieces and feed you to the squirrels. I'm going to chop you up and make a nutty fruitcake out of you. That's what I'm going to do.
You better not.
Oh, he says I better not. I will. I'll do it. No, my blood pressure. My heart. I can't stand it. I've got to pull myself together. Now, look, Olson. Let's get this straight man to man.
Oh, I've got it straight.
Wait a minute. Now, what's this about leaving a note for Kent?
Well, I did. Just in case you did something to me, like the cat said.
The cat? What about the cat?
It warned me about you.
The cat warned you about me?
Yeah, last night. Just the way it warned Miss Lane.
I see. Is this another cat?
No, the same one. Miss Lane's Siamese. I took it.
Oh, Miss Lane's Siamese. I see. Now tell me, did it call you on the telephone or write you a letter?
It talked to me.
It talked to you. Just the way we're talking now, eh? Face to face.
Well, it was in my lap, and...
Go on. Well, I've still got my reason.
Well, it said you were out to get me. It warned me to be careful.
Oh, Lord, give me strength. And you really believe the cat talked to you?
I wouldn't have if I hadn't heard it myself. It was sitting in my lap in my own living room. My mother had gone to bed, and nobody else was in the house. Then it talked to me.
Yeah, it talked to you. Oh, my sweet sainted Aunt Tilly, that this should happen to me. First Lois, and now this apple-pated young moron. No, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I can't.
You better take it easy, Mr. White.
Don't you know that a cat can't talk?
This one can.
This one can. I tell you, no cat can talk. It was late at night, and you were worried about Lois. You were thinking about that crazy story the taxi driver told, the ghost man in the hearse. Your imagination got away with you, and you thought you heard the cat talk, too.
No, it wasn't my imagination, and I don't care what you say. I heard it talk.
You crazy young idiot! I tell you... No, this is no way to handle it. I've got to be calm. Now, Olson, where is the cat?
In Mr. Kent's office.
In Kent's office, eh? I thought you said
I brought it with me this morning. It's in its traveling case. I didn't want to leave it home in case it decided to talk to my mother and scare her.
Oh, or maybe cook dinner and watch the kitchen floor, eh? Well, okay. Come on.
Where?
We're going to take the cat to Dr. Anstruthers.
Who?
Dr. Anstruthers. He's chief veterinarian at the Metropolis Zoo. Nobody knows more about animals than he does, and he's a friend of mine. He'll get this nonsense out of your head.
Come in here, Perry. You too, young man. I have my fluoroscope in this office.
Okay, Doc. Come on, Olson.
Now, bring the cat over here, please.
Well, what are you going to do now?
Make one final test to prove to you that the animal can't talk. Now, let me have the cat, please. Thank you. Now, just sit there, kitty. No, don't try to get away. I'm not going to hurt you. That's a nice kitty. Now, will you turn off the light, please, Perry? The switch is right behind you.
All right.
Nice kitty. Now, all right, you'll both look through this screen. Right here.
Gosh, you can see right into the cat.
Uh-huh. Now, here are the larynx and vocal cords. Entirely normal, you see. No enlargements or distortions. There are the lungs, heart, liver, spleen. Nothing at all unusual, nor is there any a mechanism in the body which doesn't belong there. Now, will you turn on the light again, Perry?
Right. Well, you satisfied, Olson?
Now, if you'll open the box, young man, I'll put the cat back in.
Get in, Kitty.
You didn't answer my question, Olson. Are you satisfied now that the cat can't talk?
Well, I
You what?
Well, I heard everything Dr. Anstruther said, but I heard it talk.
All the stubborn idiots. Maybe you'd better put him under the fluoroscope, Doctor. Examine his head.
I assure you, young man, neither this cat nor any other member of the feline family can talk. You were probably under a great strain, so you imagined...
I didn't imagine it. I heard it.
Heavenly days, what'll I do with him? I know. Take the cat and come along, Olson.
Where?
To my house. You and the cat are going to stay right there with me until you're convinced this is all a lot of nonsense. Come on now. Much obliged, Doc.
Not at all, Perry.
I'll pound some sense into your head, Olson, if I have to do it with a sledgehammer. Now, come on.
Carrying the box containing the fawn-colored Siamese cat, Jimmy follows Editor White and the zoo to a taxicab. That night, in White's suburban house, the boy reporter is taking a shower preparatory to going to bed, while in the adjoining room, the gray-haired editor is stretched out on one of the twin beds reading a book. Suddenly, over the sound of the shower, Jimmy hears a yell.
What? Oh, my God. That's Mr. White. Something happened.
His heart pounding, Jimmy Olsen leaps from the shower as Perry White's anguished scream echoes through the house. What has happened? We'll return in a moment to find out. But first, here again is your announcer.
You know, there's a girl in our neighborhood who's always been mighty fond of Orphan Annie. Follows her adventures regularly in the funny papers. So she was mighty thrilled when she found that Orphan Annie is one of the characters on those swell comic buttons Kellogg's Pep is putting out. So thrilled, in fact, that she started to specialize in collecting buttons with Orphan Annie on them, and her dog Sandy. And now she has 5 Orphan Annie buttons pinned on the back of her jacket, and 3 Sandys, too. Now, of course, most of the fellows and girls in the gang think that it's more fun to collect different buttons. You know, to keep swapping duplicates and collecting new buttons until eventually they get all 18 in the series. They want Smokey Stover and Haroldine and Superman and all the others. But however you do it, it's doggone exciting fun. And you're mighty proud to wear those comic buttons for everybody to see. But you know, the best part is, those comic buttons are so easy to get. You don't send in any money, not even a box stop. And you can't buy them anywhere. But inside every package of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep, there's an exclusive prize. So ask Mom to get lots of P-E-P, Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
As he was taking a shower in Perry White's house, Jimmy Olsen heard the gray-haired editor scream his name. Throwing a bathrobe around him, Jimmy rushed into the adjoining bedroom where he saw White sitting bolt upright in bed, his eyes popping, pointing a trembling finger at the fawn-colored Siamese cat crouched on the bed near his hand, its strange blue eyes regarding him curiously.
What happened, Chief?
Well,
The what?
the cat.
Yeah, what about it?
Well,
It what? Leaping lizards. You mean it talks?
Yes, it...
Help me. Help me.
Listen.
Help me, Mr. White. Help me.
Creeps. It's Miss Lane's voice.
Help me. Please, help me. Save me. Save me before it's too late. Please, Mr. White.
Trembling,
Please.
their hair literally standing on end, Jimmy Olsen and Perry White hear Lois Lane's anguished voice pleading for help. Apparently...
Jim, listen. It's talking.
Help me, Mr. White. Help me.
Creeps. It's Miss Lane's voice.
Yes, and it's coming from the cat.
Help me. Please, help me.
Mr. White. Mr. White.
Steady, Jim.
Help me, Mr. White.
It can't be. We're hearing things.
I'm crazy. We're both crazy.
Help me. Come to...
Good Godfrey. Listen, Jim.
I am listening.
Come to 807 Myrtle Drive. 807 Myrtle Drive. Hurry.
Creeps.
Oh, hurry. Hurry, Mr. White. Save me. Please.
You got the address, Jim?
Yeah. 807 Myrtle Drive. That's way out at the end of town. Oh, golly, what?
Uh-oh. There goes the cat.
Come back here, kitty.
Let it go.
But
Let it go, I said. If I see that cat once more, I'll go stark raving mad. I am stark raving mad. Oh, Jim. Jim, you heard it, didn't you? You did hear it?
Sure I did, only how could Miss Lane's voice come out of a cat?
How could any human voice come out of a cat? But you heard it, too, and it's enough for me. Two people can't go crazy in exactly the same way at exactly the same time.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. Now, come on, don't just stand there. Get into your clothes.
My clothes?
Yes, your clothes. Do you expect to go out in your bathrobe?
Out? Oh, out.
Lois is in trouble, and we've got to help her.
Yeah.
Now, hurry up.
Okay, but listen, how could Miss Lane, that cat...
I don't know, but that was Lois's voice, and she said she needs help. Oh, where's my other shoe? Oh, here it is.
But listen, how...
I don't want to listen to any more hows or whys. I don't know any more than you do. Something screwy. We're going to find out what it is. But first, we've got to find Lois.
Sure, but how can we find her?
She told us where she is, didn't she?
Sure, but if she isn't...
Isn't what?
Alive.
What are you talking about? Didn't you just hear a voice?
Sure I did, coming out of a cat. And that undertaker guy yesterday who stopped the taxi Miss Lane was in said...
Never mind what he said. I don't believe there was any undertaker guy. The taxi driver was lying.
But when Mr. Kent talked to you this afternoon, he said they hadn't been able to break his story, and he didn't have any police record.
I know, and I still don't believe it. Aren't you dressed yet?
I just have to put on my socks and shoes and my tie.
All right. Get them on and meet me in front of the house. I'm going to try to reach Kent by phone and have him meet us. Pogo! Get my car out of the garage. Hurry up. Sir, your fat stumps. Okay. Here's Myrtle Drive at last. Now, what was the number again, Jim?
807. Gosh, it's dark around here. I wish Mr. Kent was with us.
I told you I couldn't locate him. Keep your eyes peeled for number 807.
I don't see any houses at all on this street.
No, neither do I.
Maybe this house is going to turn out not to exist. Like that cemetery the undertaker guy was asking about.
Will you stop with that undertaker guy?
But
You heard me.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute, stop. There's a house.
It would be all dark. Wait till I get the searchlight turned on it. Yeah. Can you see the number?
No. Gosh, look at that crummy old shack. It's practically falling apart.
Never mind that. Just find the number.
I don't think it's got a number.
It must have. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. I think that's a number on the porch post there. Can you make it out?
It's pretty faded, but I think I can... Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
It's number 807.
Are you sure? Wait till I put on my glasses.
You don't have to. It's 807, all right. But it's a deserted house.
We'll find out if it is or not. Come on, Olson.
You mean you're just going in there? Just like that?
Oh, why not? There's where Lois said she was, didn't she? Come on.
But you can see nobody's in there.
No, I can't. The house is dark. The windows are boarded over, and I can't see through them like Superman. Well, are you coming or not?
Oh, aren't you even going to call the police first?
Lois is in trouble, and you want to wait for the police. Well, stay in the car. I'll take care of this alone.
No, wait, Mr. White. I'll go with you.
Thanks for nothing. Now, look out now. Watch these steps. Because if they fall apart, if a bird steps on them.
The whole house looks that way. Gosh, do you really think Miss Lane is in there?
Well, that's what we're going to find out. I wonder if we ought to ring the bell.
Yes. No, I don't know.
Big help you are. Well, why not? Here it is. I don't hear it ring.
No, neither do I.
Out of order, probably. I'll bang on the door.
You hear anything?
No. I'll try again.
The door opened.
Yes.
I don't see anybody. Hello?
Who are you saying hello to?
To whoever opened the door.
Nobody opened it. The latch was loose and the door opened when we banged on it.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh, wait. You mean In the house?
No, in your father's mustache. What do you suppose I mean? Come on now and stay close behind me.
Holding their breaths, Perry White and Jimmy Olsen stepped timidly into the dark, dilapidated old house at 807 Myrtle Drive. What will they find? Well, we'll return in a moment for the exciting climax of today's episode. But first, here again is your announcer.
You know, I'll bet there's nothing you look forward to more eagerly than following the adventures of your favorite characters in the funny papers. That's why those comic buttons that come as prizes in packages of Kellogg's Pep are making such a hit with all you fellows and girls these days. Because it's just as if those folks like Moon Mullins and Winnie Winkle and even Superman himself had come alive. You have their true-to-life pictures done up in brilliant red and blue and black on sturdy white enameled buttons that you're mighty proud to wear pinned on your jacket or your dress or cap. Yes, sir, every single one of these 18 different comic buttons is a honey. And probably the most fun is trading duplicates with your pals and comparing notes on how many you've collected so far. And remember, these swell comic buttons are easy to get. You don't have to spend a single penny of your allowance, and you don't even have to send in a box stop. Actually, you can't buy these buttons anywhere. They come only as exclusive prizes in packages of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. Tell Mom you'll eat lots of P-E-P, Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
It is night. Perry White and Jimmy Olsen have come to a dilapidated, seemingly deserted old house on the outskirts of Metropolis in search of Lois Lane. Moving cautiously, they have just passed through the shadowy vestibule into the pitch blackness of a room.
Can't see a thing. Wait till I light a match.
Oh, no, don't.
Why?
Well, if someone's here, they'll see it.
Well, that's what I want to find out. I don't want to trip over anything and break a leg. Here we are.
The room's empty.
Yeah. Except for about 6 inches of dust. Lois!
Oh,
What's the matter?
you scared me.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Lois! Lois! Are you here?
See, I told you she wasn't. Come on, let's get out of here.
Not until we've gone through the house and made sure she isn't here.
Go through the house?
That's right. Lois said she was here and needed us. Now, come on. There's another room straight ahead.
I'll light another match.
You just told me not to.
I know, but it's awful spooky in the dark.
Spooky, my eye. Hey, what?
What's the matter?
Something ran between my feet.
What?
I don't know. Come on.
Oh. Aren't you going to light a match?
I've only got a few left in the package, and I don't want to waste them.
What?
Who laughed?
I don't know. It sounded right near us.
Yes, wait. I'll light a match. What's that?
What?
That knocking sound.
Oh, my knees.
Well, keep them quiet.
Oh, my gosh.
It's Perry White. Who said that?
Light that match, Mr. White. There's nobody here.
Then who laughed and talked?
I don't know.
The voices were in this room.
Yes.
Then who?
Oh, what?
The match burned my fingers. Perry White and Jimmy Olsen. It's Perry White and Jimmy Olsen. Good God,
Creeping lizards.
Jimmy Olsen.
Startled, Jimmy Olsen clutched Perry White's arm.
Did you hear that, Mr. White?
You think I'm deaf? Somebody laughed.
It came from the next room.
No, it didn't. It came from this room. Let go of my arm. I want to light a match.
But you just lit one, and there was nobody here.
Well, somebody's here now. Now, where?
See? Nobody is here, except us.
That's funny.
I don't think it's funny. Come on, let's get out of here.
Nothing doing.
Oh,
would you stop jumping like a scared grasshopper every time a match burns my fingers?
Well, I didn't know. Listen, what's that?
I don't... Take it easy. Take it easy now. That was just a door.
Sure, but who slammed it?
Quiet.
But
Quiet, I said. I don't hear anyone. Must have been the wind.
There isn't any wind tonight.
What the...
That awful laugh again.
It is in this room. Where'd I put the matches? Huh? I've got them. It's Perry White. Who said that?
I don't know.
It's Jimmy Olsen.
Huh?
It's Perry White. White and Jimmy Olsen.
It's Perry White and Jimmy Olsen.
Oh, golly.
Here we go. Just take it easy. Take it easy. Perry White and I'll see who. Blasted, I lost the matches. Perry White and Jimmy Olsen.
I hear steps. Somebody.
You hear me? I'm trying to find the matches. It's Perry White and Jimmy Olsen.
I'm going to get out of here.
You come back here.
Nothing doing those awful voices. No, let go. Let go.
What is it, Jim?
Oh, I bumped into the wall.
No, don't do things like that. Well, who's that?
Who's what?
Don't you hear those steps?
No.
Well, they just stopped. There they are again.
Yeah.
Now they stopped. Now be careful, Jim.
I guess those steps were me.
You?
Yeah, I was trying to find the door, but I'm all mixed up. I don't know where it is.
Of all the dummies. Come here and help me look for the matches.
No,
Perry White and Jimmy Olsen.
Perry White and Jimmy Olsen.
Those voices. Here they go again. Mr.
Perry White and Jimmy Olsen.
Where are you? Mr. White!
I'm right over here.
Where?
Right here. I don't want to move. I dropped the matches right around here.
Listen to him. Let's get out of here. Let's call the police.
We need the matches to get out. I'm all twisted around, too. Anyhow, Lois...
I don't believe she's here.
Well, she said she was. The voices stopped.
Yeah, but maybe...
Maybe what? Where are you?
Maybe they're coming for us. Somebody touch me.
Yeah, me too.
Let go.
Don't touch me. Get away from there.
Get
Let go. Get away. Don't touch me. Jim. Jim, I got you. Jim, let go it. Stop it. It's me, Jim. It's me, you.
You. Chief?
Yes, you young idiot. You were fighting with me.
Oh, my gosh. I thought...
Oh, stop it. Get up. Oh, stop it, I say. Oh, all the nincompoops. I bet I'm all black and blue. Couldn't you tell who it was?
Couldn't you?
Oh, all right. Now, how are we going to find those matches? We must have rolled all over the floor.
I don't know. Holy mackerel.
Now what?
I just remembered. I've got my fountain pen flashlight in my pocket.
Well, how do you like that? Of all the dumb, stupid... Perry White and Jimmy Olsen. There they go again.
Yeah.
Hurry, get that flashlight working.
Okay,
It's Perry White and Jimmy Olsen.
There.
Now, shine it straight ahead. No, not at me, you ninny. Not at the floor. Ahead.
Yeah, okay.
It's Perry White and Jimmy Olsen.
I don't see anyone.
Shine it behind us.
Okay. Oh.
Still nobody. Sweep it around the room.
Yeah. Jeepers, that laugh is even worse than the voices. But where is it? I mean, they.
I don't know. I'm sure there's nobody here.
But there has to be. Those voices. Unless
what?
Unless they're ghosts.
Ghosts. Will you stop acting like a lunatic?
And who was talking and laughing? You said yourself the voices were right in this room.
There's some hocus-pocus going on, that's what. And we're going to find out about it. What's that?
But it sounds like a cat. But where is it? I can hear it, but I can't see it.
Never mind. Stop looking for it.
But
Stop, I said. I don't want to see it. And all I want are cats for the rest of my life.
It's not here. But I can hear it.
Jim, Mr. White, help me.
Huh?
That's Lois.
Oh.
Help me, please, Jim. Mr. White.
Lois!
Miss Lane, where are you?
Help me.
Shine your light around, Jim.
Yeah, I am. Do you see her?
No.
Neither do I. Oh, my gosh, Chief, I know now.
You know what? Lois, where are you?
No, wait. Wait, Mr. White, don't call her. Don't call Miss Lane.
Why not?
Because I know what this is all about. It's terrible, Mr. White. Please don't call her. Please.
With the cat meowing plaintively somewhere in the musty darkness of the room, Jimmy begs Perry White not to call Lois. Why? What has Jimmy suddenly discovered? The answer to the mystery? We'll return in a moment to continue the tense scene in the seemingly haunted house. But first, here again is your announcer.
You know, when Mom opens a new package of Kellogg's Pep, it's a real occasion. Of course, you're always glad to have plenty of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal to eat. But now that every package of Pep means you get a new comic button to add to your collection, well, that's an extra thrill. And even if it's a duplicate, like one you already have, well, that's even more fun because then you can trade with your friends. And fellows and girls tell me that these comic buttons are just about the best-looking things they ever saw. First off, they're true-to-life, speaking likenesses of your favorite funny sheet characters, like Harold Teen and Lillums and Superman himself. Then, they're done up in full comic strip colors, bright red and blue and black on a gleaming white background, so they stand out like anything. You'll have these comic buttons a long time, too, because they're white enameled on sturdy metal. Believe me, you'll be mighty proud when you wear them pinned to your jacket or your dress or cap. So hop to it, gang. Get all 18 different buttons in the series. You don't have to send in any money, not even a box stop, and you can't buy them anywhere. But there's a comic button, an exclusive prize in every package of Pep. Ask Mom for P-E-P, Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
In the weirdly frightening darkness of a deserted house on Myrtle Drive, Jimmy Olsen, listening to the plaintive meowing of a cat, has suddenly decided he knows the answer to the strange mystery and is pleading with Editor Perry White not to call to Lois.
Please, Mr. White, please don't call Miss Lane. If you do...
If I do, what?
If you do, it'll be terrible.
What in the name of Jupiter are you talking about?
I just thought of it just a second ago. I remember reading about it in a book.
Reading about what? Now, look here, Olson. Unless you stop bushing about the beat, bashing around the bait, beating around the bush, there'll be trouble.
It's about people and cats.
What about people and cats?
Oh, I read in this book that the ancient Egyptians believed that when people passed away, sometimes they turned into cats.
So what? This is America, not Egypt.
But maybe that's what happened to Miss Lane. Maybe she passed away and turned into a cat. You hear that? I'll bet it's Miss Lane.
And I'll bet you should have your head examined.
But we heard the cat speak to us in Miss Lane's voice, didn't we?
I don't know. I don't know what we heard anymore. I don't know whether I'm coming or coming. Coming or going. Give me that flashlight.
What for?
Never mind what for. Give it to me.
Here you are.
Now, I'm going to search this house from cellar to attic. I'm going to find Lois if it kills me.
Oh, don't say that, Mr. White. Please don't say it.
Don't say what?
That it's going to kill you. If Miss Lane is dead already, and if you...
Lois isn't dead. Nobody's dead, except you from the neck up. Now, come on.
Where are you going?
I told you I'm going to search every room in this house.
Oh, no. Please don't, Mr. White. Please, it's dangerous.
All right, if you think it's dangerous, stay right where you are.
No, wait, Mr. White. Don't leave me. I'll come along.
Well, what are you waiting for? Jim, where are you? Jim, answer me. Where are you, Jim?
As we continue now, Perry White, with the aid of Jimmy's flashlight, is searching frantically for the boy reporter. Listen.
Jim, where are you? Jim, what happened? Where are you?
Perry White, Jimmy Olsen. Good Godfrey.
Those voices again. They're right in this room. But I can't see anyone. I'm going crazy. I know I am. Jim, Lois. Where are you, Jim?
Jimmy Olsen.
Jim, Lois. Where are you?
Perry White and Jimmy Olsen.
Perry White.
Lois.
Calling desperately, Perry White stumbles about the dark, dust-laden, mysteriously empty room. Meanwhile, having failed to find any trace of Lois as Superman, Clark Kent, deeply worried, has arrived at Editor White's suburban home. In the kitchen, he's questioning Poco, Perry White's fat little cook, who, as you remember, speaks only in rhyme.
Now, wait a minute, Poco. Let's get this straight. You mean to tell me you heard the cat talk, too?
Yes, Mr. Kent. Strange as it seems, I was here in my kitchen when I heard screams.
Screams?
Oh, such terrible screams, they gave me a fright. And they came from the mouth of our Mr. White.
Mr. White? I thought you said the cat.
Oh yes, the cat. I'm coming to that.
All right, get to it. Just give me the facts, and never mind the rhymes, Poco.
It really takes me much more time to think of words which do not rhyme.
All right, tell me in rhyme then, but talk fast, Poco. What about the cat, and where did Mr. White and Jim go?
Oh, they went to help poor Lois Lane.
Lois?
We heard her voice so clear and plain.
You heard Lois's voice? When? Where?
It came from the mouth of the cat.
What?
As true as I'm short and fat.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Poco.
It's true, Mr. Kent. I swear it's true.
But-
I heard her as clearly as I hear you.
You heard Lois's voice come from the cat?
Yes, Mr. Kent. She was pleading for aid. Oh, dear, I was never so afraid.
Of all the... You say you heard Lois's voice talking and asking for help?
Yes, she was indeed. She told them to come with haste and speed. Oh, Mr. White phoned you, but you were away, so off they went without delay.
Where did they go?
Oh, to help Miss Lane.
I know, but where, Poco? Where?
Oh, Oh, yes. First a number that rhymes with gate.
What?
Number 8.
8?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Then a number that rhymes with snow.
What?
Oh, that would be the cipher O.
8-0. All right, then what? Good heavens, can't you tell me without all this rhyming gibberish?
Oh, don't scold me, please. I get confused, and then my poor brain is all abused.
All right, I'm sorry. Do it your way. You said 8, and then O. Then what?
Then... Oh, yes, I know. The final number rhymes with heaven.
7?
Yes. How did you guess?
All right, we have 807. Now, what does the next number rhyme with?
Oh, first gate, then snow, then heaven.
Yes?
That's the number, 807.
Oh, good. All right, now what about the street, Poco? And don't tell me you remembered that by a rhyme.
Oh, of course I did.
Oh.
It's the name of a girl.
A girl?
And it rhymes with some creature as small as a squirrel.
Oh, come on, Poco. What is it?
I'm thinking. Was it a rabbit? No. Was it a bird? No.
Come on.
Was it a frog? No. Was it a dog? No.
Good heavens, do we have to go through the whole animal kingdom? Think, Poco, think. Lois is in trouble. Mr. White and Jimmy may be in trouble, too.
Oh, hurry, worry. You've got my brain in a terrible flurry.
Oh, all right, now, steady down. Take it easy.
And I warned you that abusing me would only end in confusing me.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to abuse you. Just relax now and try to think. You said the street had a girl's name, right?
Yes, and the name rhymed with...
Yes?
Oh, shame. I've forgotten the name.
Oh, of all the crazy... Look, never mind, Poco. We'll try it another way. I'll run through as many girls' names as I can, and if I hit the right one, you stop me.
I'm a fool.
All right, never mind. Now, let's see. A. Abigail. Abigail? Anne? There's a Queen Anne's Court in Metropolis. Is it that?
No, not that.
Oh, dear. B. Barbara. Betty.
It came. I have the name.
You have? Well, what is it?
Turtle.
Turtle? I never heard of a turtle street.
Oh, it rhymes with turtle.
Oh.
Bertle, Kirtle, Dirtle, Fertle.
Girdle, Hurtle, Jertle, Kirtle.
Myrtle.
Wait, that's a girl's name.
Yes, and the name of the street we seek, which I heard Miss Lane and the strange cat speak.
There's a Myrtle Drive.
The name is the same.
807 Myrtle Drive. All right, now listen, Poco. The cat is sleeping in Mr. White's room. Close the door so it can't get away. Do you understand?
Oh, I won't go near it. I greatly fear it.
Oh, it won't hurt you. Just close the bedroom door. I'll see you later. It's dark, so out of these clothes in a hurry. Talking cat, speaking in Lois's voice. It's ridiculous. There's something queer going on here. Something I don't understand. But I intend to find out as Superman. There we are, all set. Up, and away!
Leaping from Perry White's lawn, Superman streaks away through the night sky to the outskirts of the city, where he drops down before the dark, deserted mansion at 807 Myrtle Drive. Pushing open a sagging door, he strides into the house. Startled, Perry White, still searching for Jimmy, challenges him.
Who's there?
Don't be frightened, Mr. White. It's Superman.
Oh, yeah? Now you stay away from me.
But I tell you, I'm Superman.
And I'm the king of Siam. You keep away from me now. I've got a gun.
You haven't got any gun, but you have a flashlight. Shine it on me and you'll see who I am.
I can't. I wore the battery out looking for...
For whom? Where's Jim?
As if you didn't know.
As if I... Now, wait.
No, don't come any closer. I'll hit you with a chair. You're one of them.
One of whom?
The voices.
Voice?
You took Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen away.
Jim? What happened to him?
Oh, look, who are you? Well, what did you do to Lois? And where did you take Jimmy?
I didn't...
What do you want of us? Oh, please bring them back. Tell me where they are. I'm going crazy.
We're not getting anywhere this way.
Where are you going?
There's a package of matches on the floor. I've got to prove to you who I am.
Oh, those are my matches. I lost them before. You mean you can see them in the dark?
Of course I can.
Then maybe you are.
See for yourself. I'll strike a match. There.
You are Superman. Thank heaven.
Well, at least we've got that settled. Between you and Poco, it's a wonder I'm not hearing cat talks, too. All right, now, tell me quickly what happened.
Well, just a little while ago in this very room, Jim and I heard Lois call to us.
You're sure it was Lois?
Why, of course I am. Don't you think I know Lois's voice? And she was right in this room with the other voices.
What other voices?
Oh, they kept saying Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, until I thought I'd go mad. Then we heard Lois, and right after that, Jim disappeared.
What?
It's as true as I'm standing here. Oh, find him, Superman. Find him. He's somewhere in this house, and so is Lois.
No, they're not.
They must be.
I tell you they're not. And what's more, Lois was never here.
She is. I heard her.
You couldn't have. And you couldn't have heard those other voices either. Except for you and Jim, nobody's been in this house tonight.
What does Superman mean? How could Perry White and Jimmy Olsen have heard the strange voices if nobody has been in the house? We'll return in a moment for the amazing climax of today's episode, but for first, here again is your announcer.
You know, there's one thing I'm sure about, that both fellows and girls hate to miss out on anything exciting. That's why all the gang's getting such a kick out of collecting those nifty comic buttons from packages of Kellogg's Pep. Because you're really in the swim when you sport a jacket or a dress or cap with these colorful buttons pinned on. And you want everybody to know how many different funny paper characters you've collected. And you know, it's even more exciting to trade duplicates with your friends. Of course, these comic buttons are really worth collecting. They're true-to-life pictures straight from the funny papers. And they're done up in brilliant colors, so they show up like anything. Now, how you get these comic buttons is important. You don't send in any money, not even a box top. And you can't buy them anywhere. All you do is to ask Mom to get you some of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. And inside every package, there's your exclusive prize. Remember, that's P-E-P, Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
In the musty darkness of the old house on Myrtle Drive where Jimmy Olsen mysteriously disappeared, Superman has just startled Perry White by saying,
Except for you and Jim, nobody has been in this house tonight.
You're wrong.
I'm not wrong, Mr. White. There are only 2 sets of footprints in this room. Yours and Jim's.
What?
Yes. And there are no other footprints anywhere else in the house. Why, the dust is 2 or 3 inches thick on the floors. No one could have walked in without leaving footprints.
Then how... Good heavens, Superman. Don't tell me I'm out of my mind. Wait, I can't be. Jim, what happened to Jim? He was right here with me.
I can't understand
Help.
it. What's that?
What?
Help me. Mr. White. Help me.
Good Godfrey. That's Jim.
Yes.
Help me, Mr. White. I'm with Lois. Please help us. Help.
Jim, where are you? Superman, he's right here. He's in this room.
No, he isn't.
He is. You heard him yourself.
Yes, I heard him, but he's not in this room. What's more, he's not in this house. I can't understand it, Mr. White. I don't know where his voice is coming from.
Help us, Mr. White. Help us. Please help us. Help.
That's strange. Jim sounded as if he were right here in this very room.
Oh, of course he did, and he is. Strike a match, Superman.
He isn't in this room, Mr. White. He isn't anywhere in the house.
He must be. We heard him.
I know, but he isn't here. There's no one in this house except you and me. And there are no hidden speaking devices in the walls or floor. I can't understand.
Oh, I'm going out of my mind. I'm stark raving mad.
There must be a logical explanation for all this.
Oh, must there?
Yes.
Cats talking like human beings. Lois disappearing from a taxi cab in broad daylight. Jim vanishing into thin air.
What's the matter?
Oh, a cat. Did you hear it?
Yes, there's a cat on the front porch.
You're sure I didn't just hear it like I heard the voices?
Of course not. It's on the front porch, I tell you.
Maybe it's Jim.
Huh?
Or Lois.
What?
Maybe we're all crazy. Maybe the Egyptians were right.
What Egyptians? What are you talking about?
Jim said the Egyptians believe that when a man dies, he turns into a cat.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
I heard the cat talk with my own eyes. I mean with my own ears. I heard it in my own bedroom.
You did?
It talked with Lois's voice.
I'm surprised at you, Mr. White. You know better than to believe silly superstitions like that.
No, I don't know what to believe anymore. I think I'm going out of my mind. I think I am out of my mind.
Come on, now, pull yourself together. We've got to find Jim and Lois.
No, I don't think we'll ever find them.
Of course we will. Now, listen, try to remember. Just where were you when Jim disappeared?
Here in this room. No, we were in the next room. I can't remember.
Well, he couldn't have disappeared from this room. Let's have a look at the other room.
No, wait, don't leave me, Superman.
I'm right here.
Where? Where? I can't see you.
Right here. Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Stop, don't move.
What?
Don't move, I said. There's a trap door right in front of you.
A trap door?
Yes. It's set on spring hinges in the floor. That's how Jim disappeared. He stepped on that trap door.
Good Godfrey.
Of course, Jim went through the trap door and... Wait a minute. That's queer.
What is? What's under the trap door?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Just a hole, a rough excavation under the house. Looks as if someone started to build a cellar once and gave it up.
Is Jim down there?
No, nobody is. Except
Except what?
the cat that was on the front porch a minute ago.
The cat?
Yes, now don't go getting any crazy ideas.
Maybe Jim, the cat...
Look, Mr. White, you're letting your imagination get the best of you. Now, you've got to pull yourself together.
No, I can't. I'm done for. I can't stand any more. I'm an old man, and now I'm losing my mind.
Snap out of it. There's work to be done. That's your car out in front, isn't it?
I don't know. It may not be a car anymore. Maybe it's an elephant.
Don't be silly. Get in the car and drive to the nearest telephone. Call Inspector Henderson and tell him to come out here. Then go back to the Daily Planet and wait.
Henderson, Daily Planet, all right.
Here, wait a minute. I'll help you around the trap door and out of the house. Careful now. Wait a minute. Let me lead you.
Oh, Jim, Lois, talking cat.
Take it easy.
No, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I
Steady
tell you.
now. Here we are. All right, come on. There, you can see now, can't you?
Yes, I feel better out here.
Okay. Call Henderson, then go back to the Planet.
Where are you going?
Look for Jim, of course, and Lois. I heard Jim's voice. He must be somewhere around here, and I intend to find him. See you later, Mr. White. Up and away!
Leaping from the rickety porch, Superman circles above the mysterious dark house, then widens his range to search every inch of land below him within the radius of a mile. But finally, worried and baffled, he gives up. A steeple clock is striking midnight as the Man of Steel, once more in the guise and garb of Clark Kent, walks through the city room of the Daily Planet, then enters the office of Perry White, where the gray-haired editor is anxiously pacing the floor.
Anything new, Chief?
Huh? What the... Oh, it's you, Kent.
Did you hear from Inspector Henderson?
Yes, but no snow. He said that he couldn't find Jim or Lois either, and he said the same thing about Superman did.
Oh, what's that?
That the dust in that old house on Myrtle Drive is inches thick. Nobody could walk in it without leaving footprints.
Yes, I know.
And the only footprints were in the two front rooms. They were mine and Jim's and Superman's.
Uh-huh.
So where did those voices come from?
You got me. I made certain there were no hidden speaking devices in the house.
Then what happened to Jim and to Lois? Unless Superman can find them.
He hasn't been able to yet.
How do you know? He told me to wait. Here.
He hasn't been able to find a trace of them.
Did you see him?
Oh, I was in touch with him, yes.
Well, then what'll we do? It isn't only us, it's Jim's mother. I've been walking the floor wondering what to tell her in case Superman didn't find him.
Yes, I've been thinking about that, too. We'd better call her, Chief. Want me to do it?
No, that's my job. I'm Jim's employer. I'll do it right now. Might as well get it over with. Now, let's see. It's...
Metropolis 60129.
Huh? Oh, yeah. 0129.
Uh-huh.
Poor woman. Probably worried to death.
Well, maybe by this time she's used to Jim being out late on assignments.
If only I could offer her some hope, but I can't.
I haven't given up hope yet.
I have. Lois has been gone for 2 days, and not a trace of her. And now Jim disappears into thin air, too.
Oh, now, listen to me, Chief. People don't disappear into thin air.
They did.
Oh.
It's funny.
What?
Why doesn't Mrs. Olson answer? She couldn't have gone to bed.
She never does until Jim gets home.
Then where... Oh, here she is now. Miss Olson? This is Perry White. Oh, I'm all right, thanks, yes. Listen, I'm afraid I have some bad news. You see, Jim... Is he fired? Oh, no, nothing like that. You see... Do I what?
What's the matter, Chief?
Just a minute, Kent. Now, wait a minute, Mrs. Olson. Say that again. Are you sure? No, of course not. It isn't necessary. It isn't necessary. No, nothing. Good night, Miss Olson. Good night. Kent.
What is it, Chief?
Mrs. Olson says Jimmy is home in bed.
What?
Fast asleep.
Amazed, Clark Kent stares at Editor Perry White. Jimmy Olsen safe at home and asleep in bed. What does this mean? We'll return in a moment for the startling and amazing climax of today's episode, so don't move. But first, here again is your announcer.
Say, gang, if you should happen to help your mother with a weekend or two of Kellogg's Pep, don't you forget to remind her. because this sunny, golden toasted cereal tastes a doggone swell. It's so packed with flavor and so crisp and fresh that, well, you'll want to eat lots of it, because Pep is good for you, too. Mom will tell you that. It's got lots of whole wheat nourishment, not to mention good old vitamins B1 and D. Mighty helpful to growing fellows and girls. And, of course, because that's how you get those snappy comic buttons all the gang's collecting. Real humdingers they are. Brilliant red and blue and black pictures of your favorite comic strip characters on sturdy white enamel buttons that you can wear pinned on your jacket or your dress or cap. There's Haroldine and Lillums and Uncle Walt and Superman himself. So better get busy on your collection. Make sure Mom gets you some of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. That's the only way you can get these thrilling comic buttons. You don't send in any money, not even a box stop, and you can't buy them anywhere. But you get them as exclusive prizes in packages of P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
Informed by Jimmy Olsen's mother that the boy reporter was safe at home and fast asleep, Clark Kent and Perry White drove to Jimmy's house, eager to learn what had happened to him and why he had failed to get in touch with them after the experience at the deserted house. As we continue now, Mrs. Olsen is leading the way to the stairs which ascend to Jimmy's top-floor bedroom.
Now, we're sorry to disturb you at this hour of the night, Mrs. Olsen, but it's very important that we talk to Jim.
Oh, that's perfectly all right, Mr. White. I know how it is in the newspaper business. Tell me, have you heard anything of Miss Lane?
No, not yet.
Oh, my, the poor thing. And such a lovely girl she is, too. Jimmy's room's at the head of these stairs. I'll take you up.
What the?
What's the matter, Kent?
I know where Jim's room is, Mrs. Olsen. You don't have to bother coming up.
Well, if you don't mind, then I won't go up with you. These stairs are a little hard on me as I get older.
Oh, sure, you're not old.
Of course not. Look, did you say you saw Jim come home tonight?
Well, no, I didn't see him.
You didn't?
But I heard him.
Oh, I see.
What's the matter with you, Kent? She said
Just
that...
a minute, Chief. Go on, Mrs. Olsen.
Ever since I had the flu, Jimmy won't hear me waiting up for him anymore late at night. But I always hear him come in.
And you heard him come in tonight?
Well, yes. About an hour ago.
Kent, do you have to play detective at 1 o'clock in the morning?
I'm sorry,
Oh, sorry. Now, don't mind him, Mrs. Olsen. He's dizzy. Now, you go on back to bed.
All right, then. Good night, Mr. White. Good night, Mr. Kent.
Good night,
Good night, Miss Olsen. Good night.
Come on, Chief. Hurry.
Oh, now you're in a hurry. You waste 10 minutes asking dumb questions.
They weren't dumb.
Oh, no? What difference does it make when Jim came home?
The difference is that he didn't.
What do you mean he didn't?
Get ready for a shock, Chief. That's Jim's bedroom.
What's the matter with you, Kent?
Nothing's the matter with me, but...
Go and open the door.
All right. Wait a minute. I'll switch on the light. Look, Chief.
Look at what... Good Godfrey! What's that cat doing on Jim's bed?
I don't know.
And where's Jim?
I'm not sure, Chief. But I'm beginning.
Kent. Kent, look.
I see it.
A cat. It's
A cat. You said it before, Chief.
Jimmy. It's Jimmy.
Oh, now, wait a minute,
It's Jimmy,
Chief.
I tell you. It must be.
For heaven's sake, Chief.
There. You see? He answered us.
Are you out of your mind?
Yes. No, I don't know. But it has to be Jim. Mrs. Olsen said he came up here a little while ago to go to bed.
She was mistaken.
Well, how could she be? And she isn't.
But...
It all makes sense now.
Nonsense, you mean?
No. First Lois and then Jim disappeared. Something happened to them, and they turned...
Now, don't give me any more of that ancient Egyptian superstition about people dying and turning into cats.
Well, I laughed at it, too, when Jim reminded me of
Well...
it. But I heard Lois's voice coming from the cat.
Oh.
Not this one. The Siamese.
But you couldn't have.
I tell you I did, with my own 2 ears.
So loud, Chief. We don't want to frighten Mrs. Olsen. And stop being silly.
I only wish I was being silly.
You are.
But I heard her, I tell you. So did Jim.
Cats can't talk. You know that. It was some kind of a trick.
Well, that's what I kept saying until I heard it talk in Lois's voice.
Oh.
And then in the old house, we heard her again. We couldn't see her. And Superman said she hadn't never been in the house.
That's right.
But we heard her voice. And then we heard a cat. And Superman saw a cat.
Well, so what? Cats often hang around deserted houses.
Not talking cat.
Now, wait a minute.
And after Jim disappeared, we couldn't see him either.
But
we heard his voice, and then we heard a cat.
Oh.
And Superman saw a cat under the house where Jim had gone through the trapdoor.
Again, I say, so what? Cats like to go under houses. For heaven's sake, Chief, act your age.
Then where is Jim?
Well, I'll admit I don't know, but
I'll tell you where he is. He's... You stay away from me, cat.
Chief, Mrs. Olsen.
Oh, yes.
Now, look here, Chief. Unless you stop acting like a child, I wash my hands of the whole
Now,
matter.
you get that cat away from me. Do you hear? You get it away, I say.
Now, you see? I told you to keep your voice down. It's all right, Mrs. Olsen.
I heard Mr. White scream.
Oh, well, he's always screaming about one thing or another. Now,
We don't want to scare her. Pull yourself together.
Oh, I can't. I've come all apart at the seams. My head is going around like a top, and my legs won't hold me up.
Well, then sit down. Whatever you do, don't repeat any of that cat nonsense to Jimmy's mother.
If it only was nonsense.
Are you sure everything's all right?
Oh, certainly.
Why, well, where's Jimmy?
There he is.
Where? I don't see him. And what's that cat doing here?
Jim doesn't seem to be here, Mrs. Olson. Are you sure he came home tonight?
Why, of course he did. I heard him.
But you didn't see him.
Well, no. Like I said, since I had the flu, Jimmy won't let me wait up for him anymore. But I heard him come in and go up to bed. You mean Jimmy didn't come in?
Well...
It was someone else?
It was... Oh! Kent, will you stop kicking me?
You probably didn't hear anyone, Mrs. Olson.
Oh, but I'm sure I heard his door open. He was very quiet. I know he didn't want to wake me, but he...
Well, you see, the chances are you dreamed it, or maybe Jim did come home.
I'll say he did.
I can't imagine where this cat came from. You say Jimmy did come home, Mr. Kent?
Well,
I thought you said...
I said maybe he came home to, to get something, some notes on a story or something, and then went out again. Very quietly, so as not to disturb you.
Oh, you mean he's on assignment?
No, he... Ow! Kent, if you don't stop kicking me...
I'm sorry, Chief. I didn't want to step on the cat. We'd better be going now. It's late.
I can't imagine where that cat came from. Unless Jimmy was home tonight and he found the cat outside and brought it in with him. He's been bringing home stray animals ever since he was able to walk.
Well, that's very likely.
I hope he doesn't start bringing mice home now.
Mice?
Mr. White's so tired, he doesn't know what he's saying. He often gets that way. Don't worry, Mrs. Olson. I'm sure Jim will be home soon. All right, come along, Chief. I'll take the cat out with me. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Come on.
Are you sure everything's all right, Mr. Kent?
Oh, certainly.
Mr. White's been acting so strangely.
Well, me? Why, I'm fine. I'm wonderful. Couldn't be better.
I don't understand all this.
Mr. White's very funny, isn't he? He's practicing that new laugh. Well, we'll be going. Now, don't you worry about anything. Come along, Chief. Good night, Mrs. Olson.
Good night.
Now, wait a minute, Kent. Hold on.
What's the matter?
What's the idea of not letting me drive my own car?
You're in no condition to drive tonight. If a cat ran across the street, you'd probably wind up wrapped around a telephone pole.
Don't mention cats to me. Oh, I hope I never see another one as long as I live. The way my heart's been acting up, I don't think I'll live through the night. You don't know what I've been through.
Well, I do know you've been acting like a chump.
What? How dare you talk to me like that?
Believing cats can talk. Thinking Lois and Jimmy turned into cats, and you the editor of a great newspaper.
Well, I'll admit now that I've had a chance to cool off, it does seem a little preposterous.
A little preposterous?
Yes, but
what?
Well, I heard Lois's Siamese cat talk, Kent, and in Lois's voice.
There you go again. I tell you it was a trick.
How could it be? The cat was right beside me on the bed. I practically had my hand on it.
It was a trick, a very clever trick.
Will you stop saying that? I kept telling myself the same thing. But what happened to Lois and to Jim? And how could we hear their voices in the old house when even Superman couldn't see anybody?
I don't know how yet, but I intend to find out.
You intend to find out?
Yes.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Superman couldn't find out, but you can.
Yes, and
now then tell me this. Even if it was a trick, who would do a terrible thing like that?
And that's a little detail I intend to uncover, too.
Now, you do. How? Will you stop making noises like a cat? What? No, I won't say it. Hey, look out for that phone. What?
For Pete's sake, will you take it easy? I saw it. Scare me like that. What did you start to say?
Oh, yes. What did you do with the black animal we found in Jim's room?
Oh, you mean Jim?
Yes. No. Yes. No. Oh, how do I know what I mean anymore? I've had more than I can stand, Kent. I'm not a young man anymore. I can feel my heart palpitating. I can feel my arteries hardening.
I know, Chief. I know, but you can relax. I'm going to have this mystery solved before this night is over.
What do you mean? How are you
Just leave it to me and take my word for it. Before this night is over, I'll have the answer to the mystery.
How does Clark Kent intend to solve the baffling mystery tonight? We'll return in a moment for the tense climax of today's episode. But first, here again is your announcer.
You know, it's hard to tell who's having the most fun collecting those grand comic buttons from packages of Kellogg's Pep, the fellows or the girls. Well, fact is, all you members of the gang are having a whale of a lot of fun, and there's a lot of rivalry to see whether the fellows or the girls can collect the most different buttons. Why, it's almost like a race. Of course, eventually, every kid will have all 18 different buttons in the series, from Herbie and Periwinkle right on up to Superman himself. Because these pictures of your favorite comic strip characters are so doggone brilliant and swell-looking that, well, you won't want to miss out on a single one. They're straight from the funny sheets, you know. Accurate, true-to-life pictures of the friends that you follow regularly in the papers. And you feel like strutting around when you have all your different buttons pinned on your jacket or your dress or cap for everybody to see. So better hop to it, gang, because these thrilling buttons are easy as pie to get. You don't send in a single penny, not even a box top, and you can't buy them anywhere. All you do is to ask Mom to get you a package or two of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. Inside, there's your exclusive prize. Remember, that's P-E-P, Pep, made by Kellogg's, the greatest name in cereals. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
Refusing to tell Perry White how he intends to solve the mystery, Clark Kent drove to the editor's suburban home, picked up the Siamese cat which Lois, Jimmy, and White insisted had spoken to them, and returned to his own metropolis apartment with the animal, accompanied by Perry White. Now, as the mantel clock points to 2:45 in the morning, the fawn-colored cat, having explored the small apartment, springs to the divan and curls into a furry ball, its strange gray-blue eyes regarding Kent curiously. White breaks the silence.
Will you please tell me what this is all about, Kent? What's the idea of dragging me and that confounded cat to your apartment at this hour of the morning?
And I brought you because I'm going to need your help, Chief. And I brought the cat because I expect it to tell me the answer to this whole riddle.
You expect it to tell you?
Yes. Unless I'm very far wrong, and I don't think I am, we're going to learn from Kitty here where Lois and Jim are, how and why they disappeared, and everything else.
Now, wait a minute. You said you didn't believe the cat could talk.
I don't.
What? Now, hold on. I may be a little screwy after everything what's happened, but I'm not so screwy that I can't recognize two conflicting statements when I hear them.
Oh?
First you say the cat can talk, and then you say it can't.
Well, it can't. But it will.
What? Of all the... Now, wait, Kent. Now, wait, take it easy. All this wacky stuff is beginning to get you, too.
What?
Now, I tell you what. You take a warm bath and go to bed. I'll sleep out here on the sofa.
You think I'm going crazy, don't you?
Huh? No, of course not.
No,
You're just a little tired and overanxious like I am.
Oh.
Your nerves are frizzled.
They're what?
I mean frazzled.
Oh.
Now, listen to me, Kent. You take a shower
Wait.
Huh? Well, what's the matter?
The cat's going to talk.
Who said it was?
I did. Now, don't move and don't say anything.
Well, how do you know it's going to talk?
I'm telling you it will.
Oh, you are you? Kent, you're crazier than I am.
What?
You're twice as crazy.
Wait a minute. Wait, will you? It's going to talk. It's going to...
Now, look, Kent.
Wait, Chief. The cat's going to talk.
I thought you said it can't talk.
It can't. But it will.
No, it can't. But it's going to anyhow, right?
That's right.
I don't get it.
Now, please be quiet, will you? Any second now.
Any second now, you're going to bring a rabbit out of a hat.
Wait a minute.
Great tea, Hussifet. I thought I was crazy. Look, compared to you, I'm as sane as a newborn baby.
Will you be quiet?
No, I won't. All this talking cat stuff and Lois and Jim disappearing has finally got you.
Now, listen to me.
Now, relax, Kent. Relax. Give your nerves a rest. I'll heat up some milk for you.
Come back here, please.
Hot milk is the thing for frazzled nerves.
Will you sit down?
In fact, I'm going to have some myself. Now, you wait right
Will
there.
you please come back here, or do I have to pick you up and carry you back?
No. I'll take it easy, Kent. I'll try to control yourself.
Chief, I'm telling you for the last time, come back here.
All right. I'm coming back. I see. Now, don't get violent. Try to get a grip on yourself.
I ought to get a grip on you.
No. Now, Kent...
Talking cats, Lois and Jimmy disappearing into thin air.
Now, I know just how you feel. Just thinking about it makes the little colored pinwheels go round in your head, doesn't it?
In my head?
Okay, in my head. Now, try not to excite yourself. You'll feel better soon. I feel lots better than I did. Already, I feel fine. What's that?
Just a cat meowing. What did you think it was?
I don't know.
Maybe you thought it was Jim. Oh, no, that's right. You decided Jim was the black cat on his bed. This Siamese cat must be Lois. Or have you discarded the silly theory that human beings can turn into cats?
No, don't talk like that, Kent. You'll drive me crazy again.
All right, then stop acting silly. I said I'd solve this mystery tonight, didn't I?
Oh, sure you did, Kent. Sure you did.
And I will. Talking cats. Now, why doesn't it speak?
Well, maybe it doesn't feel like talking.
No, it feels like talking, all right, and it will, too.
No, it will, huh?
Yes.
And are you sure you won't let me fix you some nice hot milk?
What for?
Maybe a nice hot cup of tea?
Huh. Car's still here.
A car? Here? You mean you see a car in this room?
No, of course not. Down in front of the building.
You can look through the floors and brick walls and see a car down in front of the building, eh? Just like Superman, huh? No, that's fine, Kent. That's fine. Now, what kind of a car is it? A trolley car?
Oh, it's
The little coupe. Oh, did I say I saw it? Oh, I meant I heard it. I've got pretty sharp ears.
Yes, of course you have. You've got ears like a cat. A fox. What about the car?
Oh, Uh-oh. Now it's driving away. Hey, I don't understand this.
Oh, don't try to understand it. Just forget all about it. Drink some hot milk and go to bed. The police are bound to find Lois and Jimmy. I hope.
They can't. We've got the cat. Don't understand why that car drove away after following us here. I was sure it was somehow mixed up in this whole...
What car followed us?
The little coupe. It was parked near your house when we got there this evening. When we came out with the cat, it followed us here.
Are you sure?
Of course I am. See, my hunch is that whoever's behind all this crazy stuff is the unknown person who sent that cat to Lois in the first place. He kept watch outside Lois's apartment building. And when Jimmy took the cat to his house, this unknown person trailed him. And when the cat was taken to your house, he trailed it there. And when we brought
it to your place tonight, he trailed us here.
That's right.
Now, even if that were true, which I doubt, how does it account for Lois and Jim disappearing and the cat talking?
Oh, this man must have a way of making a voice seem to come from the cat.
You mean he's a ventriloquist?
What?
No. He stands on the sidewalk below Lois's apartment and sends his voice 16 stories up and out of the cat.
Oh, of course not.
Then how did this unknown magician do it?
Well, I don't know. I was sure I'd find out tonight when the cat talked. Always talked before when it was taken to a new place. But now...
Now what?
Now I don't know.
No, of course you don't. Neither does anybody else. Now take my advice and forget about it, at least until morning. Now, you need a good night's sleep to steady your nerves. So do I. Now, come on.
Wait.
What's the matter?
The cat's opening its mouth. Maybe it's going to talk.
That's quite a speech you made. Come on. We both need some sleep, and we'll be fresh and sane in the morning.
Now, you go to bed. I'm not sleepy.
Of course you are.
No, I'm
not.
not.
Of course you are. You're just too tired to know it. Must be 3 o'clock in the morning. What? What's the
matter?
My wristwatch says only 11:30.
Oh, you must have forgotten to wind it. That mantel clock keeps pretty good time. It's 10 minutes to 3.
I didn't forget to wind it.
Hey.
Uh-oh. Listen to it. Sounds like all the parts have come loose.
Yeah.
I must have broken it during the excitement at that haunted house tonight.
Too bad. Oh, come on, Kitty. Talk to me, will you? Here, come here. Sit in my lap and tell me what happened to Jim and Lois. Now, come on up here.
Oh, stop it. You give me the shivers.
I was sure that coupe had the answer.
And stop with the coupe. There probably never was one. Now, I'll have to leave this watch at the jeweler's. I gave my old one to Poco, and Mr. Grayson gave us these new ones for Christmas.
Oh? Oh, you can have mine. I've got an extra.
And be careful, Mr.
Chief!
Kent.
Who said that? The cat!
Be very careful, Mr. Kent.
Quiet, will you? Quiet.
Beware of Perry
No.
White.
Quiet, Chief.
Perry White is out to get you. Just the way he got Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen.
That's a dirty lie.
I warned Miss Lane, but she didn't believe me. She trusted Perry White. I warned Jimmy, too.
How do you like that?
But he didn't believe me either. I told him Perry White was going to drive them mad and then get rid of them.
Of all the rotten lies. Please, I don't care. Nobody can talk that way about me. Not even a cat.
Don't make the same mistake Miss Lane and Jimmy did. Listen to me.
Quick, Chief. Go into the bedroom and close the door.
What?
For heaven's sake, Chief. Hurry, Chief. Get into the bedroom.
But why?
Don't stop to ask questions. Just get into the bedroom and close the door. It's the only way I can solve this thing.
He wants to drive
all right,
too.
I'm going.
Listen to me, Mr. Kent. I'll tell you how to protect yourself against Mr. White. The only way to save yourself from him.
Pale and trembling, Perry White stumbles into the bedroom and slams the door behind him. What is Clark Kent going to do now? We'll return in a moment for the tense climax of today's episode, but first, here again is your announcer.
Say, gang, you've probably heard the older folks talking about perpetual motion. You know, something that never stops moving. Well, one young fellow told me the other day that he thinks these comic buttons from packages of Kellogg's Pep are perpetual fun because you never stop having fun. No sooner do you add a new different button to your collection than you're already on the lookout for another. And these buttons are so bright-colored and smart-looking that you're always proud to wear them pinned on your jacket or your dress or cap so everybody can see how many you've collected. Take Smitty, for instance, in his blue suit and nifty bow tie. Or Superman himself, complete with red cape and Superman insignia. Yes, sir, these comic buttons are really honeys. You'll want all 18 of them, and you can get them, too. Easy as anything. You don't send in any money, not even a box stop, and you can't buy them anywhere. All you do is to ask Mom to get you plenty of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep, and look inside the package for your exclusive prize. Remember, that's P-E-P, Pep, made by Kellogg's, the greatest name in cereals. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
With a strange voice warning Clark Kent against Perry White, apparently coming from the Siamese cat in his lap, Clark Kent sent Editor White into the bedroom behind a closed door. Now, a few seconds later, as the voice still seems to come from the fawn-colored animal, Kent, carrying the cat, opens the bedroom door and summons the gray-haired editor back to the living room.
Chief, come on back in here.
There's only one way to save yourself, Mr. Kent. Get Perry White before he gets you.
What did you find out? I didn't find out anything yet.
Don't let him drive you mad and then get rid of you. Listen to me. Get rid of him first.
Good Godfrey. Can't understand it. I was sure it was you. Me? You mean you believe what the cat said about me getting rid of Lois and Jimmy? No, not that. No, the voice.
Get rid of Mr. White. You can find a way. Get rid of him.
Do you hear that? Wait a minute. What do you mean you thought the voice was me?
Get rid of him quickly.
I didn't think the voice was you, but I was sure that you and Lois and Jimmy
and get rid of him tonight. You can do it.
Oh, I can't stand this. What about me and Lois and Jimmy? Can't understand. I can't see.
Tonight, when he's asleep, get rid of him.
Oh, this is terrible, terrible. Wait! Great Scott! What?
Remember, unless you get rid of him tonight, he'll get rid of you.
I've got it. Got what? The answer. What answer? The answer to this mystery. I know now what makes that... Now explain yourself, Kent. What do you mean you know what makes the cat talk? That's what I said, Chief. All right, you can get down now, Kitty. Come on. What are you letting it go for? We don't need it anymore. It has nothing whatever to do with the voice we heard. Huh? But you just said... I know what I said. But if I'd been holding an orange in my hands when we heard the voice, or that little statue on the mantel, you'd swear the orange or the statue would talk. Are you crazy? Well, I know it sounds crazy, but it's really quite simple, Chief. Very ingenious, but simple, like most clever tricks. Look. There's your answer. What is? What answer? My wristwatch. Eh? And your wristwatch. My wristwatch? Yes, and Lois's wristwatch, and Jimmy's wristwatch. Will you kindly tell me what you're talking about, Kent? Certainly. These watches the four of us received for Christmas are equipped with tiny radio receivers. What? Yes. I can see that yours and mine are, and I'll stake anything I own that Lois's and Jimmy's are, too. What do you mean you can see that yours and mine are? I can't see anything of the kind. Oh, they look like ordinary watches to me. Well, I mean, that has to be the explanation. Look, Lois was in bed, and the cat was on the bed right near her when she thought it talked. All right, you were in bed, and the cat was next to your hand when you thought it talked. Jim was holding the cat in his lap when he thought it talked. And just now I was holding it in my arms. My wristwatch was only, an inch or two from the cat. Oh, so that proves that our watches are radio receivers, does it? Of all the dumb, idiotic brainstorms anyone ever had, this one takes the cake. Well, it's true, and I can... Not through my foot. Whoever heard of a watch being equipped with a radio receiver? Well, these are. These are? I suppose they've got 6 tubes and condensers and loudspeakers and an automatic phonograph, too, eh? All right. Now, wait a minute. I'll prove it to you. Give me your watch. No. If I let a crackpot like you monkey around with it, it'll be ruined. Radio receiver. Okay, I'll use mine. I just suggested yours because it was broken. As a matter of fact, that was the tip-off. What tip-off? Well, I knew the cat couldn't really talk, and I'd made sure there were no hidden speaking devices in Lois's apartment, in Jim's house, and in your house, or in that deserted mansion on Myrtle Drive. Golly, this catch on the band seems to be stuck. Something in your brain is stuck, too. Now, go on. You decided the cat couldn't talk, and there were no hidden speaking devices, so it had to be our wristwatches. Uh-huh. Wonderful reasoning. I don't think... Well, now, wait a minute. I knew it had to be something you, Lois, and Jim wore or carried in common. But when I sent you into the bedroom tonight and the cat still seemed to talk in my lap, then I knew it had to be something I had in common with you three. And then I remembered the wristwatches the four of us got for Christmas. Wait a minute now. It's coming. Ah, there we are. There, now I can open the watch.
Yeah, it's too bad we can't open your head and let the hot air out. Now, look, Sherlock, even if you were right, have you forgotten that Mr. Grayson, the publisher of the Daily Planet, gave us these watches? Do you think Mr. Grayson would try to drive 4 of his employees out of their minds, make 2 of them disappear, and commit all the other hocus-pocus that's been going on?
Yeah, I know. That's been stumping me. As well as the
fact... you admit something stumps you, huh?
I'm getting it. There we are. All right, now, look, Chief. You see? Now, that tiny compact unit in the upper half of the case is the watch movement.
What are those other little gadgets, wires and stuff, and the rest of the case?
That's the miniature radio receiver.
Who says so?
I do. I've seen some of the new radio developments that came out of the war. There, now, you see there? That's the speaker amplifier, that tiny valve-like gadget. The filament is attached to it.
You can see that without a microscope?
Of course I can. And furthermore...
Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. One of those little glass thingamajigs fitted around the inside of the case.
Those?
Yeah, they look like glass beads.
They're radio tubes.
Radio tubes?
Mm-hmm.
And no, wait. Wait till I get my glasses on. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah. Now. Hey, they still look like glass beads and... No, I think they are radio tubes.
Of course they are. This little set must be tuned to a certain wavelength, undoubtedly a very high frequency, or the government monitors would have detected it. The voice you thought came from the cat, and Jim's voice, and Lois's voice, and all the other spooky voices you heard in the deserted house were transmitted over that wavelength and received by your wristwatch.
Good Godfrey. If that's true, Kent,
I'm sure it is, and I never noticed it. I just took for granted it was an ordinary watch.
But who? Why?
I don't know who yet.
We've got to find out where the transmitter is.
Exactly, but how?
There must be some way.
Well, if there is, I don't know it. I was sure that coupe that followed us here from your house had something to do with it, but
maybe it was the coupe. There might have been a transmitter in it.
No, there wasn't.
Well, how do you know?
Well, I just know.
Oh, nonsense. It was dark, and the car was traveling along behind us.
Well...
How could you see if there was a radio transmitter in it or not?
I'm just sure there wasn't. Anyhow, the car drove away from here before the cat talked.
So what? They could transmit from some other place, couldn't they? Now, look, Kent, I'll get Inspector Henderson on the phone. You describe the coupe to him.
I tell you, there was no transmitter in that coupe, and besides... Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
A hearse.
A what?
A black funeral hearse. 2 blocks over on Pine Street. It's speeding away.
A hearse? 2 blocks away?
What are you talking about? Remember the man who stopped Lois's taxicab the day she disappeared was driving a funeral hearse. A tall, thin man, the taxi driver said. This man is tall and thin. Great Scott, I wonder.
You wonder what? What tall man? Stop looking as if you were seeing through walls.
Well, there's some queer things in that hearse. Can't quite make them out from here, but...
Oh, get that crazy look off your face, Kent. You're going to pieces again. Now, come on. Try to pull yourself together.
Don't you worry about me. Just keep your fingers crossed that I'm right about the hearse and that it leads me to Jimmy and Lois. I'll see you later, Chief.
Now, wait. Come back here. Where are you going?
Going after that hearse.
Now, what hearse? How can you see a hearse blocks away from inside this apartment?
Call it a gift. So long, Chief.
Come back here. You're out of your mind, Kent. Come back here, I said. Kent! Good Godfrey, he's as mad as a hatter. Kent, come back here. Kent!
Frantically, Perry White shouts after Clark Kent, who has rushed from the apartment. Will the black funeral hearse lead him to Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane? We'll return in a moment for the startling climax of today's episode. But first, here again is your announcer.
You know, gang, if someone should just hand you a full set of 18 different comic buttons from packages of Kellogg's Pep all at once, why, that wouldn't be half so much fun as collecting them right along. Of course, you're always mighty proud to wear these slick-looking buttons on your jacket or your dress or cap, but you would hate to miss the thrill of seeing which button is inside every time Mom opens a new package of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal. And you'd feel kind of out of it if you couldn't trade duplicates with your pals and sort of race with them to see who can collect the most different buttons. This way, every single button you get is a brand new prize, something to be mighty proud of. The colors are so clear and sharp, the pictures of your favorite funny paper characters so true to life that, well, it seems like getting pictures of your old friends. And you know what the best part is? These swell comic buttons are so easy to get. You don't send in any money, not even a box stop, and you can't buy them anywhere. But every time Mom opens a new package of Kellogg's Pep, there's your exclusive prize. Better get busy on your collection, gang. Ask Mom to get you plenty of P-E-P, Pep, made by Kellogg's, the greatest name in cereals. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
Hoping that a black funeral hearse, driven by a tall, thin man, might lead him to the missing Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen, Clark Kent rushed from his apartment and resumed his true identity of Superman. He is now streaking through the dark sky, high above the hearse which speeds along Metropolis Boulevard, almost fully deserted in this early morn before dawn.
Just as I thought. There is a radio transmitter in that hearse. That's where the cat's voice and all the other strange voices came from. Well, there's nobody in the hearse but the driver, so he must be Mr. Voice himself. Okay, I'll just follow him, and he ought to lead me to Lois and Jim. Hey, he's certainly kicking the speed laws around. Shuster! Uh-oh. Swinging off toward the parkway. After him. Wow, look at him take that turn on two wheels. Lucky for him there's no traffic at this hour. Wait. He's going right through a red light. There comes another fast car from the side street. They're going to crash. Down to them. Down! Oh, too late. That hearse overturned. I've got to get that driver out. Driver of the other car doesn't look too badly hurt. It's a miracle. Wait a minute. Oh, here comes another car. A taxi.
Hey, what happened?
This hearse and that car piled up. Come on out here and give me a hand, will you?
Sure, you bet. Holy smokes, what a crash.
Hey, who are you? Never mind the questions now. I'll lift the hearse. You pull the driver out.
You what?
There we go.
Jeepers. You are lifting it. Holy smokes, that costume. You're Superman.
Yes. Now get him out, will you? Gently, though.
Okay.
Careful. Have you got him?
Yeah.
Easy with him. All right, I'll put him down. I'll stand the hearse up. There we are. How is he?
I don't know. He don't look too good to me.
Here, wait. Step aside. Let me see, will you? Uh-oh.
He's done for, huh?
Yes. Now, how am I going to find Lois and Jimmy?
Flashlight over here, Inspector.
Now, a little more to the right. That's it.
Hey, what's this doing in a funeral hearse, Kent?
You mean that pile of junk? Oh, what is it?
That's a radio transmitter, Chief.
A radio transmitter?
That's what it is, all right. What's left of it?
But what would... Wait a minute. You said you saw this hearse near your apartment tonight, Kent.
Yes, I noticed it speeding away after Lois's cat stopped talking.
Oh, then this transmitter could be the one that...
That's right. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt about what?
It's the cat's voice.
Uh-huh.
The cat's voice.
We haven't had a chance to tell you yet, Inspector. Lois's Siamese cat spoke to me tonight.
What? Yes, it told Kent I was responsible for Lois and Jimmy's disappearance, and that I intended to get rid of him, too.
It wasn't really the cat speaking, of course. It was...
It wasn't. Great Jehoshaphat. Can't you make up your mind?
Well, perhaps I'd better explain.
Perhaps you'd better and make it good.
I can't make it any better than it is. The human voice that Lois and Jim and Mr. White thought came from the cat was broadcast from the shortwave radio transmitter in this funeral hearse.
And it was received by our wristwatch.
Uh-huh.
By your what?
Now, look, is there something wrong with your hearing, Inspector?
No, but I think there's something wrong with your head.
Oh, look here,
Wait a minute. You see, Inspector, the four of us, Mr. White, Miss Lane, Jim Olson, and myself, received gold wristwatches for Christmas. Mr. White's and mine, and I'm sure Miss Lane's and Jim's, too, were equipped with tiny radio receivers.
Are you kidding?
I'll show him, Kent.
I'm just going to. Here, wait a minute. You can see for yourself, Inspector. There, I'll just remove the back of this watch. There. Shine your flash on it.
Great Jehoshaphat.
See it?
Those little glass gimmicks are the tube.
Right, and that's the speaker amplifier.
Yes, you're right, Kent. This is a miniature receiving set.
Of course it is. It picked up the voice that was broadcast from this phony hearse. And when Miss Lane was alone with the Siamese cat, and later when Jim was, and then Mr. White, they thought the cat was speaking.
Oh, it almost drove me out of my mind.
Well, that probably was the purpose of the whole thing.
What do you mean, Kent?
I believe the talking cat, voices in the deserted house on Myrtle Drive, and all the other hocus-pocus was deliberately planned to confuse us and make us think we were losing our reason.
Say, wait a minute. You said somebody gave you these wristwatches for Christmas.
Uh-huh.
Who was it?
Mr. Grayson, the publisher of the Planet.
John W. Grayson?
Yes. Oh, but he can't be mixed up in anything like this.
Of course not. Look, Inspector, the motive isn't the important thing right now. We've got to find out what happened to Jim and Lois and where they are. The driver of this hearse knew, but he's dead. Now, you've just got to identify him and trace this hearse.
My men are working on it. But there are a few things about this setup and your story, White, that don't satisfy me.
What do you mean?
All of you thought the voices you heard came from the cat, right?
Well, I didn't, but what's your point?
Well, actually, the voices came from the radio receivers in your wristwatches.
Yes?
And for you to think that they came from the cat had to be close to one of the watches.
That's right.
Well, it was. I was in bed reading, and it was crouching next to me when it, when I thought it talked.
Then how could the guy in the hearse, the guy who was doing the broadcasting, know when each of you was alone with the cat and whether or not it was close to you?
That's right. Well, how could he, Kent?
Well, they must have had a Confederate posted somewhere. You see, it's my hunch that the man in the coupe who followed us from your house tonight, Chief, was a lookout.
Yes, that adds up. Sounds pretty far-fetched to me.
Whoa.
If you want my opinion, Kent, you're way off the beam.
Now, wait a minute. How about the fact that the man who drove this hearse answers the description of the man who stopped Miss Lane's taxicab the day she disappeared, Inspector?
Yeah, you got a point there, Kent. Oh, this is the screwiest case I've ever seen.
You're telling us.
Well, come on. There's no more to be seen here. We'll go back to headquarters and see if anything turned up. Watch it. Watch it. There's glass all around here.
Okay. Oh, be careful, Chief.
Stop treating me like a baby.
Well, you seem to be yourself again.
Okay. Here's my car. Get in, gentlemen.
You only hope they identified that driver, Kent.
Just keep your fingers crossed.
Close the door, will you, Kent?
Okay.
Maybe we can find out what we want at headquarters.
Yes, Inspector.
I'm in my office with Mr. White and Mr. Kent. I don't want to be disturbed.
Detective Healy is calling from the criminal record room, sir.
Okay, put him on my private wire. It's Healy. He may have something. Yes, Healy? What? Oh, I see. How about the driver? Uh-huh. Well, stay with it. Right.
Any luck, Inspector?
Yes, but it's bad. The license plate on the hearse was stolen, so we drew a blank there.
No.
What about the driver?
Haven't been able to identify him.
Then what are we going to do?
Well, I think we'd better pay Mr. Grayson a visit and find out where he got those watches.
Looks
Right?
like our last hope. Let's go.
If you think Mr. Grayson's mixed up in this, you're both crazy.
He sent you the watches, didn't he?
Yes, but... Oh, you mean...
We want to know where he got them. And if he knew about the radio receivers built into them and one or two other things. Here. Why doesn't someone answer the bell? Are we supposed to cool our heels out here forever?
Look, it's only 6 o'clock in the morning, Inspector. They're all probably Wait a minute, here comes someone.
Yes? What is it?
Oh, good morning, Thomas.
Oh, it's you, Mr. White. And Mr. Kent.
Hello.
Who's he, Kent?
Grayson's butler.
Mr. Grayson up yet, Thomas?
Mr. Grayson? Why, Mr. Grayson left for Europe quite suddenly.
Europe?
Left for Europe,
Europe?
right, sir? He tried to phone you before he left, Mr. White, but you weren't at home or at the office.
Good God, Freddy.
Now we are in a pickle.
Now, wait, maybe not. When did Mr. Grayson leave, Thomas?
Last night, sir, at midnight.
How was he traveling?
By clipper. He managed...
Thanks. See you later, Chief. Inspector?
No, wait. Where are you going, Kent?
I just thought of something. Something important. So long.
Breaking into a run, Clark Kent vanishes around the corner, leaving Perry White and Inspector Henderson speechless and amazed. What did Kent suddenly think of? In a moment, we're going to learn what happened to Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane, so keep listening. But first, here again is your announcer.
Say, gang, don't you miss out the way Rusty did a while ago. When you have a duplicate comic button to trade, you be sure to tell all your friends about it. For example, if you have 2 Orphan Annie comic buttons, but you don't have Smokey Stover or Harold Teen, let your pals know about it. And chances are someone will have a duplicate to swap with you. And then you're one more comic button on your way toward having all 18 in the series. You'll want them all, too, because they're so doggone smart looking. Full comic strip colors, bright red and blue and black on a clear white background. Look nifty when you wear them pinned on your jacket or your dress or cap. And here's how easy it is to get these exciting prizes. Just ask Mom to get you plenty of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. You don't send in any money, not even a box stop. And you can't buy these comic buttons anywhere. Remember, you get these thrilling prizes only in packages of P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's, the greatest name in cereals. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
Our scene is a dingy warehouse, only a few miles from the Daily Planet building. Here, for almost 24 hours now, Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen have been held in a locked room where almost constantly they hear the nerve-wracking meowing of a cat. Listen.
There. There it is again, Jim.
Sure, I know, Miss Lane. It's a cat.
Yes, but where is it? Where?
Why, I don't know.
It sounded like it was in this room, didn't it?
Well...
You know it did, Jim. But there is no cat in this room. Oh, Jimmy, what's happening to me?
Nothing's happening.
Yes, something is. First, I heard my Siamese cat speak to me in a human voice. And then...
Well, I heard it, too, and so did Mr. White.
I don't believe it. I don't believe you. You're just saying it to try and make me feel better.
No, I'm not. Mr. White and I did hear it. But It's some kind of a trick, like Mr. Kent said.
Why should anyone play a trick like that on us?
I don't know, but I'm sure that's what it is. I told you what happened to me when I was with Mr. White in that deserted house last night. I fell through a hole in the floor or something, and somebody grabbed me. I couldn't see him in the dark, but I felt him. That's how I know Mr. Kent is right, that it's a trick and not anything, well, spooky.
But what happened to me? I was in a taxicab in broad daylight going to Lucille Markham's house in Forest Heights. And the next thing I knew, I was in a pitch-black room, and that same voice, the voice I heard coming from the cat, kept telling me what to say, to call for help. It said that Mr. White would hear me and help me. And I was so upset. There's the cat again. Do you hear it?
Sure, but...
You don't. You don't. Only I hear it. I know
Now,
it.
please, Miss Lane, you gotta pull yourself together. You've just got to. I don't know what this is all about, but there's nothing wrong with you.
But even as Jimmy makes a desperate attempt to console Lois and assure her that nothing is going to happen to them, in a room above the one in which the two Daily Planet reporters are being held, a plump, middle-aged, pasty-faced man smiles as he listens to Jimmy's voice.
Did you hear that, Bill?
Hear what?
The voice calling to us.
A voice?
Yeah. Seemed to come from outside the plane.
Outside? There's something wrong with your ears, Rusty?
Guess I just imagined. But I would have sworn that...
Clipper. Ahoy in there.
There, heard it again.
So did I. Good grief, look, Rusty.
Huh? Where?
Right outside your window.
Great snakes.
It's Superman.
Superman?
Open the window.
I can't believe it.
Hurry up, get the window open.
Come on in, pal.
Well, I hope I didn't startle you fellas.
Rusty here will never be the same.
You can say that again.
Now, look, Captain, there's a man aboard named Grayson. It's very important that I see him at once.
Did you say Grayson?
Yes, he's sitting on the right-hand side of the aisle, third seat back. If you don't mind, I wish you'd call him in here. I'm afraid if I stepped into the cabin, there'd be a lot of commotion.
We're not supposed to allow passengers up front.
I
but
know.
I guess it'll be all right. Call him, Rusty, will you? Grayson, third seat back.
Chet. Well, what do you know? Mr. Grayson, will you step in here, please?
That's John D. Grayson, the newspaper publisher, isn't it?
That's right.
What's he been up to?
Nothing, I hope.
Right in here, sir.
What is it?
Take a deep breath.
What do you mean? Is something wrong?
I wanted to see you, Mr. Grayson.
Why, who are you?
Believe it or not, it's Superman.
Superman. Good heavens.
Look, Mr. Grayson, you sent identical wristwatches to Perry White, Jim Olsen, Lois Lane, and Clark Kent, right?
Yes, for Christmas. Why?
Where did you get those watches?
I bought them.
Where?
At Now, look here. Why are you asking me these questions?
Because Miss Lane and Jimmy Olsen have disappeared, and my only chance of locating them depends on you.
Disappeared? How? When?
Please, Mr. Grayson, just tell me what I want to know. Every second counts. Where did you buy those watches?
Why, I bought them at Kreutzer's.
Kreutzer's?
Yes, he told me he'd just gotten his first shipment of new watches since the beginning of the war. He suggested I might like to buy some for my newspaper staff for Christmas, as I used to do. They were quite beautiful, so...
Where and what is Kreutzer's?
It's a jewelry store in High Meadows, the suburb where I live.
Oh?
But tell me, what is this about Miss Lane and Jim Olsen disappearing?
No time now, Mr. Grayson. Excuse me, Rusty.
Yeah, sure.
So long. Out! And away!
Leaping from the window of the huge clipper, Superman veers in midair and streaks back across the vast Atlantic to the fashionable village of High Meadows, a suburb of Metropolis. Once more, in the guise and garb of the mild-mannered reporter Clark Kent, he enters a small jewelry store on the village square. Behind the counter, a thin, stoop-shouldered man is arranging a tray of rings.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Kreutzer?
Yes? What can I do for you?
Why, there seems to be something wrong with my wristwatch. Will you look at it, please?
Yes. What's the matter with it?
I don't like the reception.
I beg your pardon?
The radio reception. I can only get one station, and all that it seems to broadcast is the voice of a cat.
What?
You heard me. The voice of a cat.
I don't understand you, young man. This is a watch, not a radio.
There's a tiny radio receiver built into the case, as you well know. Open the case. It might refresh your memory.
My memory?
Yes, go ahead. Open it.
Why, yes. I certainly will. A radio receiver, you say? I can't imagine such a thing. There. Let's see. Why, there is what looks a radio set here under the movement.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is.
Does this really receive a radio program?
Just one, which I'm tired of. That's why I brought it back to you. I'd like you to fix it so I can hear my favorite program. Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen.
Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen? I never heard of them.
Oh, really?
No. Listen, Mr.
Kent.
Yes, Mr. Kent. Where did you get this watch?
From Mr. John D. Grayson, who bought it from you.
From me?
Yes, and 3 others just like it. Now, look, Mr. Grayson.
You're mistaken. I didn't sell Mr. Grayson this watch.
Oh, yes, you did.
I tell you I didn't. I've never had a watch with a radio receiver built in. I never saw or even heard of one before.
Now, wait a minute.
I remember selling Mr. Grayson 4 watches just before Christmas. As a matter of fact, they were the same make as this one and similar in design.
They were.
I received a shipment of 3 dozen from the manufacturer just in time for the Christmas trade.
Mm-hmm.
But I assure you, none of them had radio receivers built in.
You're prepared to tell the same story to the police, Mr. Kreutzer?
The police?
Yes.
Why, of course. But why should I tell it to them?
I'll check with the manufacturer, and then perhaps I'll be back to see you. Goodbye, Mr. Kreutzer.
Wait, Mr. Kent. I don't understand.
I'll be seeing you.
Now, if he was lying, he'll contact somebody in a hurry. There were several people mixed up in this business. The man in the funeral hearse, the lookout in the coupe, and... Uh-oh. He's picking up his phone. Wait, now, let's see how... this telephone pole. It carries the phone wire from his shop. Now, if I lean against it, I should be able to hear his voice over the wire. No, I don't hear anything yet.
Metropolis 63120. And please try to hurry it. It's urgent.
Metropolis 63120, eh? 63120. Hey, I hope this hunch works out.
Hello? Mr. Ames, this is Kreutzer. Listen, a young fellow named Kent was just in my store.
Kent? Did you say Kent?
Yes, he knows about the watches.
What do you mean? What does he know?
About the receivers. He said he heard a cat's voice come out of the watch.
Yes? What else?
He said he wanted me to fix the radio so he could hear Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen.
Yes, go on.
And he said he was going to check with the watch manufacturer and then come back to see me with the police.
He did, eh?
Yes, I'm scared, Mr. Ames. The manufacturer will tell him they didn't build the radio receivers into the watches. He'll know I did it. The police...
Stop your whining. Everything's all right.
No, it isn't. We're in danger. You've got to do something.
I tell you, everything will be all right. But I'll have to change my plans. Now listen to me. Close your store and meet me at Louis'. We'll have to clear out for a while.
Yes, but what about Miss Lane and young Olsen?
Leave them to me. Move fast now. I'll be waiting for you at Louis'.
All right.
Oh, my hunch did pay off, eh? Now, let's see. Where can I... into that alley between the stores. There we are. Now, to talk turkey to Mr. Kreutzer.
As Superman.
Stepping into a shadowed alley, Clark Kent swiftly resumes his true identity of Superman. We'll return in a moment for the tense climax of today's episode, but first, here again is your announcer.
These days, don't you kind of miss the long hours of cheerful, warm sunlight we get in spring and summer? And whether you realize it or not, you might miss the wonderful vitamin D effect of sunshine, too, that helps build strong bones and teeth. But Mother knows how to help you make up for that lack of old man sun. Sure, she knows how you get that very same vitamin D benefit from Kellogg's Pep. Yes, sir, that sunny golden toasted cereal she gives you for breakfast has extra amounts of vitamin D. Vitamin B1, too, an energy vitamin, and good whole grain nourishment. Of course, one of the reasons you like Pep so well is because that's the prize package that brings you those thrilling comic buttons all the gang's collecting these days, like Winnie Winkle and K.O. and Superman himself. Boy, it's a load of fun to collect these comic buttons and trade duplicates with your pals and wear your whole collection pinned on your jacket or your dress or cap. But remember, you can't buy these comic buttons anywhere, and you don't send in any money, not even a buck stop. All you do is to make sure Mom keeps you supplied with plenty of Kellogg's Pep, and you'll find your exclusive prize in every package. That's P-E-P, Pep, made by Kellogg, the greatest name in cereals. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
In a small, dusty office of a dingy warehouse, above the locked room in which Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen are imprisoned, a plump, middle-aged man is hastily donning his overcoat. This is the mysterious Mr. Ames, and his pasty face reddens with anger as he listens to his companion, a younger, ferret-faced man.
I know what I'm saying, Mr. Ames. We ought to turn Miss Lane and Olsen loose.
Oh, no, we won't, Hubbard.
But that reporter, Clark Kent, he knows about the wristwatches now.
So what?
Well, he'll go to the police, and they got our funeral hearse with a shortwave transmitter in it. If they trace that and the watches to us, we're dead pigeons.
Hubbard, by the time they trace anything to us, if they do, we'll be far away from here.
They'll hunt us down.
Stop worrying, Hubbard. Neither the police nor Clark Kent will ever be able to prove that we had anything to do with the disappearance of Miss Lane and Jimmy Olsen.
What do you mean? Well, if we're caught with them...
We're not taking them with us.
Well, then what? You don't figure to leave them locked up here for the police to find and question.
I said to stop worrying, Hubbard, and leave everything to me.
The two reporters spring to their feet.
Jim, somebody's coming.
Maybe it's Mr. Kent or the police. No, it isn't.
Stand here by the door, Hubbard. Well, good morning, Miss Lane. Olsen.
Who are you?
Don't you recognize me?
Why, you're Frederick Ames. Who?
That's right, Miss Lane. Quite a long time since we've met, isn't it?
Why are you pointing that gun at us?
You have a short memory, Miss Lane. You've forgotten that you and Clark Kent and Perry White, yes, and Olsen, too, exposed me and put my newspaper out of business?
You deserve to be put out of business. You should have been put behind bars for life. You were publishing a vicious, anti-racial paper that preached hate and intolerance, trying to do to America what Hitler did to Germany.
Yeah, I remember you. I wasn't in on most of the story, but I remember it all now.
And you should remember what I told each of you in court when I was sent to jail for what you called subversive activities.
Is that why you've got the gun?
It is indeed, Olsen. Instead of continuing the cat treatment.
Cat treatment? So it was you. You tricked us some way. Made us think the cats talk.
The Kent said all the time it was a trick. But how? Why?
You were trying to drive us out of our minds.
And
I would have succeeded if not for Mr. Kent. Now, Miss Lane. Olsen.
No. Put that gun down.
You'll go to the electric chair.
Don't worry about me. Goodbye, Miss Lane. Goodbye, Olsen.
No.
I'll take that gun, Ames.
Let go. Come on.
Miss Lane, look. It's Superman.
Oh, thank heaven.
I said I'd take that gun, Mr. Rat.
Oh, I think I'm going to...
Don't say now, Miss Lane. Everything's okay.
What are you going to do to me?
Put you back in the cell they should never have let you out of. This time, I hope you'll be locked up for good.
Hey, the other guy's getting away.
He won't get far, Jim. Inspector Henderson and his men are outside. All right, come along, Ames. The inspector will be glad to see you.
No.
Come along, I said. You all right, Miss Lane?
A bit weak in the knees, but all right now, thanks to you.
That goes for me, too. Boy, I thought we were goners.
That wasn't as bad as thinking I was losing my mind. I suppose it was Ames who sent me the cat.
Yes, of course he did. He had the wristwatches you received for Christmas made with tiny radio receivers in them.
What? Radio receivers?
That's how it was done, Jim. When Ames's lookout saw you were alone with the cat, he signaled the man in the funeral hearse who broadcast the strange voices you heard. The wristwatches picked up the voices.
Police. So that's how it was done.
But how did I disappear from the taxi cab that day?
Well, you had fallen asleep. You had taken the sedative before you left your apartment, remember? The man in the hearse stopped your taxi driver, and when he turned to look at you, the man knocked him out with a padded blackjack.
Oh.
When the driver awoke, the man and you were gone. Clark Kent will explain anything else you want to know. Oh, here comes Inspector Henderson. I'll turn you all over to him.
Turning the now thoroughly cowed Ames over to the police and taking leave of Lois and Jimmy, Superman disappears. The following morning, once more in the guise of Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter, we find him in Lois Lane's office where he and Jimmy Olsen are kidding the girl reporter about the talking cat.
Oh, you look a little tired, Lois. How about a cat nap?
Stop it, Clark. And don't you laugh, Mr. Olsen. You're the last person in the world to laugh at me.
What, Jimmy? A person? I thought he was a cat.
Oh,
why, sure he's a cat. Meow for the Lady Jane.
Okay.
Meow. Yes,
I suppose you think you're funny. You wouldn't joke about it if you'd gone through what I went through.
Oh, yes, a terrible catastrophe, wasn't it?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Clark, if you've got nothing better to do than to pull bad puns and make unfunny jokes, suppose you do it in your own office.
Oh, we're just kidding, Miss Lane.
Well, I'm not in the humor for kittens. I mean kittens.
You see? How do you like that? Blames us and then pulls a sour gag herself.
It wasn't a gag. It was a mistake.
It was a mistake. Well, Jim, look.
It looks like we're not wanted around here. And what do you say we get out of Tony's hash house? Maybe we can rustle up a couple of friendly mice in Tony's house.
Oh, Mr. You know, Clark, you're wasting your time as a reporter.
Oh, do you think so?
You should be a radio comedian.
Oh, other people have told me that.
How would you like me to fix it for you?
Can you?
I know the man who produces the Danny Kaye program.
Oh, really?
No, O'Reilly. There.
There what?
I suppose that wasn't funny.
Funny?
It's a joke, Mr. Ken. A joke, that is.
Oh, really?
Get out of here, both of you.
Uh-oh, that's showing her clothes.
Get out, I said.
Oh, the phone's ringing.
I'm not deaf.
Phone.
Oh. Hello?
Mr. Kent, please.
Just a minute. It's for you, the great Mr. Kent. Meow. Oh, if you don't stop that much. Here, take your old phone.
Yep. Hello?
Hello, Kent.
Yes.
This is Bruce Wayne.
Who?
Bruce Wayne. Oh, Batman.
Oh, yes. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Fine, thanks.
I'm calling from the Crime Detection Office at Police Headquarters, Kent. I wonder, could you come down here?
Well, sure thing. Why, what's up?
I can't discuss it over the phone. You'd better get down here. I'll be in room 607.
I'll be there in 10 minutes.
And Kent.
Yes?
Don't bring anyone with you. If this leaks out, you will be ruined.
What? Ruined?
See you in 10 minutes. Goodbye.
Bye.
What's the matter, Mr. Kent?
Huh? What? Oh, nothing. I've got to get down to police headquarters.
Well, I hope they put you in a cell and throw away the key.
Oh, I'll go along with you.
No, Jim. No, I've got to go alone. I'll see you later. Ruined? What did he mean?
Gosh, Miss Lane, did you see the look on his face when he hung up?
I don't make it a habit to keep my eyes glued on Mr. Kent's face.
Oh, but that look. I've seen it before. I know it. It means trouble.
Right you are, Jimmy. That look does mean trouble. But not the kind of trouble you think. Gang, don't miss the startling climax of today's episode. Stand by for just a moment, and we'll be back with it. But first, here again is your announcer.
You know, the young fellows in our block are extra busy these days working on their collection of comic buttons from packages of Kellogg's Pep. And from mighty good reason. If they don't hop to it, the girls are going to get ahead of them. Collect more of these nifty comic buttons. Well, right now, I'd say it was just about nip and tuck, and there's a lot of trading going on, too. You see, whenever you get a new button that's like one of the comic strip characters you already have, then there's the business and the fun of finding out which one of your pals has a duplicate, too, so that you can swap. That way, you both have a brand new button to wear pinned on your jacket or your dress or cap. And they look swell. Why, the pictures of your funny paper favorites are so clear and sharp and so bright colors they stand out like anything. And they're true to life, too, just the way that you always see them in the funny papers. So, gang, don't let anybody get ahead of you. Better remind Mom right now to get you another package or two of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep, because that's the only way you can get these comic buttons. You don't send in a single penny, not even a box stop, and you can't buy them anywhere. But there's an exclusive prize for you in every package of P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's, the greatest name in cereals. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
At police headquarters in room 607 of the Crime Detection Division, Batman and his guise of Bruce Wayne and Superman and his guise of Clark Kent face one another across a desk. Kent is obviously puzzled as Bruce Wayne opens a drawer of the desk and removes 3 index cards. For a moment, he studies them. Then he looks up.
Kent, where were you on the night of Thursday, December 20th?
December 20th?
Uh-huh.
December 20th. Well, frankly, I don't know.
All right, let's take another one. The night of January 2nd. That was a Wednesday.
January 2nd. Let's see, today's the 28th. That makes it almost 4 weeks, isn't it? Looks like I can't answer that either, but...
Here's one more, fairly recent. The night of January the 18th. It was a Friday.
Friday the 18th?
About midnight.
Well, I was home, I imagine. Unless I'm out on a story, I'm usually home before midnight.
But you're not sure about the 18th.
Well, I can't be positive. What's this all about?
Well, here it is, Kent. In going through the files of unsolved burglary cases, I came across 3 that bear a strange resemblance.
Oh?
3 bank burglaries in outlying districts that never hit the newspapers because they evidently weren't big enough.
Uh-huh.
The first one, on December 20th, netted the burglar $2,000. The next, on January 2nd, netted $3,000. And the last, on January 18th, netted $5,000.
Pretty small hauls for bank burglaries, aren't they?
Yes, very small. Particularly since in each case the vault door was ripped open and there was plenty of money lying around.
I don't get it.
Neither do the police. But that's not all. As I said, the doors of the vaults in all 3 banks were literally ripped off their hinges.
You mean blown off, dynamited?
No, I mean ripped. And each of these police reports mentions that whoever did it must have been a Superman.
Oh, that's fine. Great. During the war, the Nazis appropriated my name, called themselves Superman, and now it's a bank robber.
There's one more thing.
Yes?
The money that was stolen was sent to charities.
Say that again.
The $2,000 stolen on December 20th was sent to the National Charity Board. The $3,000 stolen on January 2nd was sent to the Metropolis Orphanage. And the $5,000 stolen on January the 18th was sent to the Interfaith Relief Council. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, sure.
Yes? Oh, yes, Wilson. What? Are you sure? Yes? I see. All right, thanks. Kent, this is getting serious.
Well, what's getting serious?
Last night, the Lynn Haven National Bank just outside Metropolis was broken into.
So?
The vault door was ripped off and $10,000 was stolen. A passing motorist saw a man running out of the bank carrying a small satchel.
Well?
He wore a red cape and a blue costume.
For a long moment, Clark Kent fails to get the point. Then suddenly it dawns on him. A red cape and a blue costume. The symbols of Superman. Stunned, he stares at Bruce Wayne in open-mouthed amazement. Is Wayne, otherwise known as the Batman, insinuating that he, Superman, has been robbing banks? Or is he suggesting that there may be another Superman, another individual endowed with superhuman powers? Gang, this is the beginning of one of the most mysteriously exciting adventures in Superman's entire career. So don't miss a single exciting episode. Is there another Superman? Listen tomorrow, same time, same station. Tune in and follow The Adventures of Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow The Adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station, by the grand old Kellogg Company of Battle Creek. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publications. Say, gang, get a load of this. Kellogg's Variety is back. That's the famous variety carton of 6 swell Kellogg cereals in 10 separate packages. Makes breakfast more fun than a picnic. With Kellogg's Variety on the table, you can choose among Kellogg's Rice Krispies, Pep, Corn Flakes, Shredded Wheat Crumbles, and 40% Bran Flakes. Simply help yourself to your favorite. Each box holds a fresh, crisp, heaping portion. So ask Mom to get Kellogg's Variety right away. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman.